Okay.
What the fuck is that?
What?
That thing out there. Oh, it's rotating.
Rotating floating object.
Dude, get your camera out and zoom into that right now. Seriously. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen.
This episode of the Your Mate Tom podcast is brought to you by Transcend. I'm actually really excited to let you guys know that we finally have our first official sponsor. I've been experimenting with these guys for a couple months now, and the results have been pretty mind-blowing, actually. It's no surprise that we live in a very stimulating, chaotic society that isn't exactly set up for our optimal health, right? And it's to the point where a lot of us are anxious, we're depressed, we have all forms of mental illness and brain fog, and just, it's not good. And like, I'm not laughing because it's funny. It's just, I'm laughing out of empathy because, yeah, depression is something that I've struggled with my whole life. And even though I have overcome the darkest parts of it, sometimes I have bad days, and we all have bad days, you know? We can't all have the perfect whole food organic diet and hang out with the perfect tribe that's super inspiring and be around no negativity or live 100% on point with our purpose. Like, we're human. We're gonna have crappy days. We're gonna have days where we're just feeling hazy, we're feeling negative, maybe we're feeling existentially depressed. They're gonna come, right? You know, I was having this really bad day just the other week. I went into this very existential place, and you know when your brain isn't doing the best and you just can't really think, or your memory's down the tube, or you can't find that motivation to really get out of bed and have that productive day. And like, I have a few tools to help me get out of this funk, but sometimes that magnetic pull to that negative realm, that just like that part of your brain that's like, oh my, just dude, who gives a fuck? What's the point? Just stay home. So I'll go to my pantry, I'll take a couple of these Transcend pills. Within an hour, I'm already feeling like I'm not going to pretend that it gives you the euphoria of MDMA or the energy of crystal meth. Not that you want that anyways, but it helped me lift out of that depression fog enough to actually continue with my day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to explain, but it's just, I just overall felt better to the point where I'm like, I don't want to be here. I'm not going to give into this depression demon. I'm going to go out, I'm going to have a cold shower, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to take the dog for a walk, I'm going to get some work done, I'm going to read a bit. And this snowballed into like one of the most productive creative days I've had in a while. And sometimes that's all we need, is that little push. And the thing that turns me off most supplements is the fact that they have ingredients that have like 50 consonants that you have to be a chemist to understand or whatever. This is none of that. This is all natural ingredients that have all been scientifically studied. You know, you got your B12, magnesium, zinc, 5-HTP, and all these things. Like, go check out the website if you want to know more about it. So Entheozen have been generous enough to offer the listeners of the Your Mate Tom podcast an exclusive 15% off. Just check out entheozen.com/Tom. And just know that this does support the podcast and future projects. So again, go check out entheozen.com/Tom and get 15% off your order. Anyways, guys, I'd love to give a big shout out to all my patrons on Patreon. You guys are the reason why I'm able to continue doing what I'm doing, especially with these podcasts and the higher production projects here on YouTube. So yeah, I just want to sincerely thank you. You guys are the best. What else can I say? Especially these guys here on the screen who are my top patrons. So, boom. Also, I'd love to give a shout out to Kai Lives for providing the space for this podcast and also helping out with the second camera, which definitely added to the production value, which I want to continuously invest in. If any of you guys are interested in contributing on Patreon, feel free. Go ahead. Check out the description box. There's plenty of ways. But anyways, enough of Patreon. My next guest, Jarrad Wright. So Jarrad Wright, for those who don't know, is the creator of the Big Lez Show. And if you haven't heard of the Big Lez Show, then what are you doing here? Go check it out and then come back to this podcast. It's hilarious. So Jarrad's one of my favorite human beings on the planet, and this is by far, and I know I say this from time to time, but this is the best podcast I've ever recorded so far. And it's going to be tough to top, actually, and you'll see why when you actually watch it. And I know that this podcast is a little bit longer than usual, but it wasn't forced. It actually flowed really organically, and it was really beautiful because at the end it went completely full circle. All right, so if the podcast starts off a little weird, it's because he's drawing a extraterrestrial entity that he saw during his Changa trip, just to give you guys context. And at this within the first 10 minutes of the podcast, we literally saw a UFO. And I know it sounds absolutely insane. I'm not asking you guys to believe me. This is the first UFO I've ever seen in my life. I've always been super skeptical, and in fact, quite resistant when it comes to that stuff. Because, as a wise man once said, when you go down the rabbit hole, you will find a lot of rabbit shit. And I've had this happen to me again and again and again. So when new things pop up, I don't dive in head first anymore. I observe it, but within a distance, you know what I mean? Because it's very hard to interpret these experiences. I mean, I saw a UFO, that's a fact. There were 4 of us, we were completely sober, unless it was some coincidental shared hallucination or whatever. Even though we got a little bit of camera footage. I'm going to make a video on this in the near future, because I'm going to have to now. Whether what we saw is a government conspiracy, could be a prank, maybe an entity, again, could be a hallucination, could be a demon. I don't know. It's up to you what you want to do with interpreting the data that I am putting forth. Okay, I saw what I saw, I suppose. Well, all of us did, and as you can tell, I don't know what to say about it, because I don't have an opinion on these things. You know, it's yeah. Yeah, we covered a lot of good ground, like Jarrad's insane music festival experience and why he started taking mushrooms in the first place. We covered the Marvel Universe and Choomah Island 3. Talked about depression, bad trips, the dangers of naive spirituality, aka the New Age movement, Big Lez characters and the inspiration for these characters. But anyways, I know that you guys are going to love this podcast, so sit back, relax, enjoy. It is a long one, but trust me, it's worth the wait. Especially, you got to watch it until the end, because again, it all goes full circle. Enjoy.
Didn't have any hair, and it was just a really sweet smile. And I think who I was looking at was a race called the Andromedans.
Did it look like Mr. Burns when he looks like an alien?
Nah, oh, similar actually. That's actually a good topic. Is this recording?
Yeah.
So is this all going? We on?
Yeah, we can go.
Yeah, just keep it going, because I'll probably just
well
start all the way. So this one, like,
it's already, it's the shape. It just kind of reminds me of the Mr. Burns.
Yeah. Think about the Mr. Burns alien. When I was a lot younger, when that episode was first showing, that episode terrified me. Like,
yeah.
Proper.
What about it?
Just his big eyes and like the music, the dun 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 dun. Like, it terrified me. Full on, completely terrified me. And like when it will come on, like I'll be watching The Simpsons and I'd just know the exact scene at the start of that, because I was like, nah, if I see that scene, I'm fucking out of here. Like, and it used to come on and I'd just be like, nah, I'm playing outside. Like, I'm not watching this episode. And I realised why I was afraid of it now, because I think throughout my childhood I had contact experiences that I've forgotten, and every time I'd see this face, it would scare the shit out of me, because like big eyes and like, because I've seen this being, the only type of being, and I'm about to draw him now. I've seen him kind of recently through a couple of experiences. One, I've woke up to, I'll probably tell that story to you already. I woke up to 3 of them, and I've had visions of them, like eternal visions of them, and like dreams and just all over the shop of different ways I've just like realised, holy shit. And even in my childhood, I even remember a memory of being so scared to go to bed. I was probably like 5, and my dad was just like frustrated, just like, just go to bed, what's going on? And I was just like, I can't go to bed, like I don't want to turn my light off. The Mars attacks are going to get me. They're going to come and get me. They're going to come, and Mars Attacks is an old movie.
I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
It's an old movie with like these
Isn't
ETs.
it like a Stanley Kubrick?
Or is no, I have no clue. I haven't seen it since I was young, but they were like, it was about these ETs that like had big circle eyes, and they're like, they're like really. It was a funny movie. Like, it's not what ETs look like at all, but maybe somewhere. But just the eyes and the big head just really freaked me out. And you know, I used to always just out of nowhere I'll hear these really hectic sounds, like a big, and I'll be like so loud, and my mum and dad will be like coming into me in my room, and they'll be like, "What's wrong with him?" and stuff, and I'll just be like,
"How old were you?"
I was probably 5, probably 6 or something,
okay.
but I've had heaps of different experiences all throughout growing up that like I'm just piecing together now. I'm just going, wait a minute, this is all starting to kind of make sense, because yeah, I was terrified of the Mr. Burns alien as well when I started watching that, and for some reason, if I see that face, my heart would just drop, and I would just be like, it would be like a PTSD kind of thing.
So weird, yeah.
PTSD, is that what?
Yeah.
And but now I can watch it. It's one of my favourite episodes. But
I bring you love.
Yeah, exactly.
It's bring us love.
Yeah.
Kill it.
Let's mess the iron. Kill it. No. Well, but I'll continue drawing this. But yeah, ever since I had this experience where I started to see UFOs like on a regular basis, and I started to question like, you know, who are you? What am I seeing? Am I seeing this? And I needed like confirmation. And as I've told you, did I say it on the last podcast? I can't remember. But
about what?
Me waking up to 3 beings in my room.
Yeah, I think you talked about that one.
They were it was so awesome. Man. Like in that time, as I'm waking up to them, like I felt like I was probably paralyzed, or just in a full-on hypnotized state.
Yeah.
From the middle one, he was just had his eyes just locked into mine, and his head was moving like that. And I woke up, and his eyes were like full big and twinkling, like the image I'm about to draw. I can't get his face too right, because like the main thing you're looking at is the eyes. And it was like an anime character, like, or a Disney character. You know, they got the big eyes and the big, real juicy, like.
Are you talking? Is it like the greys, like that kind of stuff?
I don't
like
think
the
it.
Black beady.
Yeah,
eyes?
it's the same shape, shape head, same shape eyes, but there wasn't a black overlay, and they were way more, I guess, human.
Okay.
What the fuck is that?
What?
That thing out there.
Thing? What are you talking about?
That thing just like rotating. You see that?
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
What is that? You see that?
I do see that.
Where?
It's not a bird, is it? No, it's like a
No, it's rotating.
rotating, floating object.
Dude, get your camera out and zoom into that right now. Seriously.
I can't
Right
see.
there
Yeah.
above. How do I zoom?
Yeah.
That's as far as it can zoom.
Oh, I need a zooming machine. Do you see that?
Yeah, what is it?
You're kidding.
Are you serious?
Trust us to see this with you here. That's hilarious.
Is that no?
Oh.
Seriously,
I
like
can fucking see that.
we need. Can we zoom up on? Do we have a device?
I don't think we've got anything that can zoom that far.
The binoculars?
Dude, that's rotating. Sorry to interrupt this.
Yeah, but
this
This is important.
Maybe we can do it in post.
take a photo and zoom in on it, kind of thing. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. They do that. Like, I'm not saying that that's them, because I can't confirm I'm not up there, but they do that. As soon as you start talking about it,
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
really?
No.
I said that was one of the daytime UFOs that I have seen look just like that. Rotating, was reflecting off the sun, moving slowly. And it's gone.
Did it just disappear?
But it's so crazy because I was like zoomed in times 10 on the digital zoom, and I still couldn't see it through this. Like you should be able to see it. Like I could see fucking like people in the windows over there, but I couldn't see that.
Let's continue.
Yeah. Let's continue. All right, so we might have just seen a UFO, and I know it sounds really hard to believe, especially because our cameras couldn't pick it up. It's like, oh, okay, that's convenient, isn't it? But it's like, what the fuck?
It's
like it had the
Can we have
distinct-
just some confirmation of you guys, or tell us
Yeah.
what you just saw?
It looked like it was like just a black thing kind of spinning around.
Yeah.
And like the reflection was like made it white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't like it was like a round.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And 'cause the
Wasn't a
sky-
plane, wasn't a paraglider.
It's kind of like a
wasn't-
bow tie. Just
There's like
looked kinda
not
like a bow
cloud in
tie
the
to me.
sky, it's not windy.
Yeah, it's not
just
windy.
Kind of just like chilling.
and it's gone. It just kept
Yeah.
going up and up and up, going that way too.
Okay,
It's gone.
that was bizarre.
Anyway, I'll continue drawing the beings.
Then they
Anywho.
say, what's up?
Yeah.
I got a feeling it probably would be that. That was too coincidental. But there's no such thing as coincidences.
Nah.
Wow. Well,
What is it?
yeah.
Okay, so just, for those who don't have context, so Jarrad's drawing an alien that he saw during his Changa trip yesterday. Which we'll get into later.
Just
but-
a disclaimer. That they don't like to be called aliens.
Okay.
Extraterrestrial or non-terrestrial, or whatever their
There's like
star
beings.
group is. Yeah, beings. Starman. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he think he'll blow our minds. You know that song?
No, I don't.
You don't? David Bowie.
I probably do, but
But yeah, anyway, weird things like that happen a lot.
so like, does it happen when you start talking about it?
Yeah, a lot of the times. But that's when I'm with people, is when I'm talking about them. But if I'm by myself, it's always when I'm thinking about them.
Okay.
I'll just start thinking like, I wonder where it's been 2 weeks since I've seen something. I wonder if I'm gonna see him again. And I'll just look up and there'll just be something there. I'll be like, what? Were they like waiting for me to make that thought, or did they give me that thought? Like it's really mind-boggling on how they do it. But
How many of your friends and family have witnessed a UFO with you?
My dad, my mum, they were late to it because when I started telling them about my experiences, they were like, oh, something's wrong with Jarrad. What the fuck's going on? He's smoking too much weed or something like that.
He's got the psychosis.
Yeah, he's got something wrong. But then one night, it was a cool coincidence that my mum and dad and myself were together having dinner at my dad's because my mum and dad are divorced.
Yeah.
And they were divorced since I was like 2 or 3, so I'm used to living in 2 houses.
Yeah.
And same town, so I just like fucking stay with dad on Thursdays, blah blah blah. And yeah, so we were together, and I just like looked up in the sky, and I just saw this like light, because I was watching satellites. I always watch the satellites go by, and every now and again this one would just come in. It would be brighter and a different type of light to it, and then he would just start like lighting up and flashing, like full on random flash, and he'll be moving like really slow, like so slow you'd think it's a star if you looked at it for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But like if you keep your eyes on it, he's moving. And I was like, oh mum, dad, quick come here, look, like this is what I've been seeing. And they're just like oh my god, like what is that? Yeah, what
That's
is
crazy,
that?
man.
Like I've never seen anything. Dad watches satellites all the time, and yeah, they were just like confused, like going, huh? Like what? And I was like, yeah, what? And yeah, Dad actually saw a UFO the other night, and he just talks to me. He's like, because he's Pommy, he's like, I think I just saw a UFO, Jarrad. It's like, what did it do? I was like, I don't know, it was just this really bright light that just like came in, and it was really soft, and I thought it was a space station, but then it just took off and it disappeared. I'm like,
When was this?
Do that. This was a week ago, last Thursday.
Yeah.
Wait, no, yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. It was last Thursday, and yeah, you see them all the time, but I can never like confirm it's them. I just like because I've seen so many satellites that like do the same kind of shit, like they reflect off the sun in the late afternoon and
Yeah.
light up and all that sort of stuff. Like we saw them the other night, like when we were on the roof, but you also can't confirm if that's a satellite, if it's not. But me, I'm just like, oh, it's a satellite, unless it turns around or lights up or does like how I was saying before, when they like come in and they light up, they put on their like, it's like a big purple blue aura that's just like just gradually getting bigger and bigger, and you just feel it in your heart. Like it's just, you get really excited, and you just like that feeling when you're like, oh, go on a fucking movie world or something like that. Like, go
a movie world.
It's fucking Christmas morning or some shit. Like, you just feel really happy. You feel like a kid again. Like, you're just overexcited and you can't contain it. And then it just makes your day afterwards or that night. You just like,
yeah.
Fuck yeah. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's really uplifting. And that's how you can, like, tell when, like, if it's
so you just get a completely distinct feeling.
Yeah, because I've seen the satellites rotate and reflect the sun, and I'm just like, you don't feel anything. You're like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to tell. Like when you just watch a satellite moving, it's like, is that a? I don't know. Is that just a satellite? Is that a UFO?
Yeah, you really got to like tune in to yourself and become a bit more sensitive with, I don't know, your emotions or whatever, or
yeah.
Or, it's like on the fucking new Star Wars movie, it's like, reach out with your feelings, not with your hands, with your feelings. He's talking about emotions, because like, emotions are like a really
well, it's kind of like everything in life, isn't it? Like when you just are more receptive to everything else.
Yeah, like animals, man. Like that's how they like navigate. Like fucking. Dude, I can't remember this being's, like, the details, but this is what his face looked like. Looked like that.
Love.
They do, man.
What colour is it?
When he appeared and his two friends that looked exactly like him, but they were just a bit shorter on his side. And I knew he was the main one because he was, like, a bit bigger. And he was the one that like had me locked in. So this is a scenario, if you haven't heard this story. I was asleep and...
When was this?
This was, I think 2 years ago now. Maybe a year and a half. I can't remember. It was like in March or April. About 2 years ago. And, yeah, I'm a late sleeper, like, or I was back then. And, you know when you just wake up at 3 a.m. out of nowhere, or just like at just some random ridiculous hour, you just like wake up. Like I had one of those, and I was kind of paralyzed, and it wasn't sleep paralysis because I've had sleep paralysis before, and I know I can tell the difference. This was like a gentle. I was already in a position, so I was like kind of locked in my bed like that, looking up, and my bedroom window was. In front of my bed, and I woke up just like with my eyes already open. I felt like they were already open before I actually am able to see through my eyes, like waking up through my eyes, and I was just staring at this being's eyes, like just like I've drawn, and he was probably this tall from the ground, so that's like 5 feet, and he was at my window with two of his mates. They were a bit smaller, like a foot smaller or something like that. I didn't see them. I saw them on my peripherals, but I couldn't look anywhere because I was just like, oh my God, like in this one's eyes. And his eyes were just so like evolved. Like you look at someone's eyes, someone's blue eyes, and you go, fuck, there's a lot of detail, a lot of colour, really cool, deep, like a bit of green in there. This one had like it was almost like all the colours were in these pupils, like you were staring into the galaxy, like
wow.
Millions of like evolution into these eyes, and they're just so powerful and like soft and loving. It wasn't just like a straight face, like just staring at you, like it didn't have a smile or anything like that. It was just the energy coming off was just so calm and safe. It was really loving. And when you mentioned the colour, I don't know what colour they were because my
unprofessional.
I turned my phone on silent. Gee, like
I just turned mine on silent now.
yeah, well, actually lucky I got a few messages. Anyway, forgiveness.
Thank you. You've integrated your lessons. That was a test. I did it on purpose.
Oh, sweet.
So you passed.
Oh, excellent. So yeah, when I what was I saying? I woke up.
But like looking into the pupil.
Yeah, I was looking into the pupil, and I just felt so like calm and everything, and as my mind's kind of kicking in, my rational mind started kicking in just before I started, to get up and go, what's happening? I was looking at this being. I'm gonna say he because I think it was a he, and I was saying like in my head like, oh, I remember you. Oh, it's you again. And this is when I'm coming back to that me being afraid of Mr. Burns' alien, like, because I had like memories of this isn't the first time I've seen this being. I'm not shocked because I recognized, like, it was recognition, like, oh, okay, it's you again. It's been a while, kind of feeling towards this being. Yeah. And like so many different emotions as I'm like in the shortest period of time, like seconds, and then as my rational mind kicked in with not my everyday life that doesn't have the memory of this, was just going like, wait, what? And I was starting to wake up, and then as I like was starting to wake up and I leaned forward in my bed, they kind of backed away and they just disappeared, just vanished in front of my window. Like they weren't outside my window, they were in my room in front of my window, and they just disappeared, just like that the cat off Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, right. Like, that phasing, so just like, and the last thing you see is the eyes. Like the eyes and the smile. Yeah, but in this case it was just the eyes. The eyes were still there, and I like leant up in my bed and I was there for a bit and I smiled. I was kind of like, you just have a feeling. And the first things that came out of my mouth was, I was saying it really cheeky. I don't know why I had this emotion, but I just said, I can see you. And then, after that, like I just went back to bed and then woke up, you go hang a piss and shit when you wake up and go back to sleep for a bit. And then I waking up later on that day, I started like to go, wait, did that really happen last night? Like full on having these things like on, like, wait, what? Like trying to like, nah, it's probably a dream. And then like shortly after that, like that night, I'm pretty sure, or that week, I'm terrible with the time differences between the experiences, but that's when I started seeing a lot more UFOs in the sky. It was after that. And even my mate, my other mate Tom, saw one on the beach with me, actually just down there, because I was telling him, and he was like, he's skeptical bloke, and that's you got to be. I was skeptical before having these experiences as well, and I still am. Like I still am skeptical of my experiences today. I still got to struggle with it. It's like a fight between my left brain and my right brain. What's real, what's not real, I don't fucking know anymore. None of that's real. Throw it all away and just like, whatever. You just come to terms with reality is not the way we're brought up to knowing. It's too many paradoxes. Oh, infinite paradoxes. But as you were saying, over time, when I was first dealing with this, I was in my own space and because you were like the only one that was gone through this experience. That I was aware of out of the people I hung out with, my family and everything. And how did you deal with that alienation and that period of like, holy shit, I think I might be going crazy? I thought I was going crazy, so what I did was I kind of isolated myself from everyone. Yeah. Because like, you bring up this topic, you just go, oh, I had this experience, I need to talk to someone, and then you just be telling your mates, and then you just catch them doing the... Yeah, it's like, all right, mate, that look, that like, okay, like to the other mates, it's like, I can fucking see you, can't. like this, that hurts, can't. Like, but I'm like, I've generally had an experience. So I did go through that period where it was just like, fuck, like I've got no one to talk to, and I was just like, am I crazy? Because people around me are making me feel so. It's like, this isn't normal, and I know this isn't normal, but like I need someone to talk to, and that's when I started to, I isolated myself, and my only teacher was the mushroom. So I like started having mushrooms because that was kind of like a message to me. Actually, before you go into that, you go into like that story of the bush stuff. Why you had your first mushroom. That's experience. Right. This is really interesting. I didn't just start eating mushrooms and tripping out or anything like that. By this point, I just I had no idea what
Like
mushrooms
you start hearing
is.
voices.
Yeah, exactly. This is interesting experiences, and I'm still foggy on whether it was legit or not. But it was just so. There's just so many things surrounding it.
Well, it was a powerful experience.
It was a powerful experience, nonetheless. Yeah, let's just put it at that. There was this doof out in the bush, kind of out Casino Way in New South Wales, and
Do you want to explain to the non-Australian viewers
what a
bush
doof is? A bush doof. Got a fucking bush doof, mate.
Yeah, man.
Bush doof is just like a big, sick, psychedelic party out in the bush, out in the forest, with like, you know, heaps of lights all to the trees and a big dance floor in the dirt and big speakers just playing psytrance.
Right. So like a
4
hippie
days.
music festival out in the
Kind,
bush.
yeah,
but
it's
much more.
Everyone's
chill, more
barefoot
hippie.
and just like painted.
A lot of
and-
psychedelics.
Yeah, a lot of
I'm sure.
psychedelics, all that. Yeah, it's awesome. It's really cool. The ones I've been to anyway. But this one that I went to was my first one, and it wasn't a proper doof. It was just a party with doof music. So not not the nicest people attended.
Yeah.
That you'd see at a doof. Like doofs, you go there and there's just fucking hippies and like heaps of chicks, just fairies and stuff. And
because
it's just
sometimes
real-
you've got ones that are like cool, genuine people. Like
Yeah.
they're hippie and weird, but whatever, they're still cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever, and then other ones you
Some
start to
kind
get
of
like
bring their like negativity.
like
it's
especially
just- but it's for everyone.
yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. That's the price you pay. Right?
Yeah, you come to those things
Democracy.
to clear that, I guess. But yeah. And so I was at this doof, and I wasn't really enjoying it because I didn't really resonate too well with the crowd there, because I was like, oh, this guy's staunching around, he's looking for a fight, and there's bad drugs going on over in this section. I'm gonna steer clear from here and just enjoy my camping experience. So I went away from the group with my mate, and we just went away from the doof and went to our car where you can just barely hear the music, and it was a half moon. I remember it was a half moon.
Yeah.
And we're just sitting in camp chairs, just smoking weed and just like having a good time, just chilling and away from it all. And then I started to hear this crunching just out of the bushes. And I was just like, you hear that? And then I just see this like, this is from far away too, and then I just see this bloke just coming out of nowhere, and he's just like tall and stuff. I can just see his silhouette, and he's just walking over from really far, and I don't know how he could see us because we were in the dark. And he just started walking straight away, just like he just had no doubts. He was just walking straight to where we were, and he just sits down in the camp chair, and he's just like smiling, and he's just so happy. He's wearing a poncho and everything, barefoot and everything, and he's just like, hey, like, how you going? He was so loving, and I was just like, hey! Gave me a big hug, and I like gave him a big hug, and my other mate, he was like a nervous kind of guy, so he's like, hey, like, you know, so he's not really like huggable or anything like that, so he takes some time to get used to people, but I was just like, fucking come here, come. So he just came out of the bushes, like, how you going? And he was like real nice, real happy, and I started to get to know him. Like, oh yeah, where
How
are you
old
from?
was he? How old did he look?
He looked 20. He looked like he was 26, but he said he was 19. And I was like, okay.
Oh, so a young.
Yeah.
kid,
And I didn't really believe. There was like, he was telling me all these stories, like where he came from, blah blah blah, but I didn't believe him. But it wasn't a like, oh, why are you lying to me? It was just like, you've got your reason to why you're not telling me, kind of feeling.
Right.
So I was kind of like testing him. I said, oh, what's your numerology number? I'll do the date of your birthday. And then he's just like he changed the subject. He was really good at changing the subject. Like, he was really good at like just the way
diverting
he
the
talked.
conversation. Or
Yeah. And he started like just going on about like wisdom and everything, and like he just started like making so much sense. And I was on MDMA at the time, and he was just like, oh yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. And I was like, but he was real nice about it. He's like, what you should be doing instead is mushrooms. You get the pretty much the same effect, but like you get benefits from it, and you like so many awesome things. I'm sure you do videos about it, but like he was telling me all these awesome things about mushrooms. Like, I've never tried mushrooms. I always thought they were really hectic. He's like, nah man, like the way they're like you know,
Yeah.
they're like nature probes.
Because it sounds really hectic when you're growing up. Because I remember in high school, like,
Yeah,
I've heard a
it's
few of
got
my
that.
mates doing like acid and mushroom because they were young and
Yeah.
had no idea what they're doing.
Yeah,
It sounded horrifying. I was like,
Yeah. Same
why
like
would I want to
acid
do that?
and like
Yeah,
weed
exactly.
and that. Like, but like, yeah, you experience. But anyway,
Yeah.
he was telling me all this, and I was like, okay, yeah, cool. And then, so many other things that happened. Like that really staunch dude that was at this doof. He was just like, when I saw him at the start of the night, he was just such like a fucking just meathead that just wanted to fucking fight everyone, like wearing the whole like Eshe kind of get up and everything. And then everyone just started to slowly migrate and see what was going on where we were sitting. And this guy came. He was like the bull in the paddock, just fucking coming over. And me and this dude are having the maddest conversation and just connecting so well and getting really excited and really happy and just making so much sense. I was just like, oh my God, like, because that was in the time when, yeah, I still couldn't find anyone, and this was the guy that was just like, another one like me, like, oh, come here, like, yes, you understand, like, you know what I'm trying to say, and like, yes, I'm with you, brother. I'm like,
Yeah.
so happy about it. And yeah, we're just having this mad conversation, and this staunch guy starts walking up to us, and he starts staunching from afar, but as soon as he gets within our radius, he just drops and just like comes down and just starts talking to us normally, and then he just starts to break down and starts to talk about himself. He's like, I don't know why I wear all this stuff to impress, to look like I'm the toughest guy, but I'm actually not. Like, I don't want to be this. And he started full on being just a human, just normal. He's just like, I don't want to be like the tough guy or anything like that. I'm like, I have to wear these things because of what I do and who I hang out with.
Survival mode, man.
Yeah. And I was just, we were just like, yeah, it's all right, man. Like, we're here, we're all real and stuff like that. And he's just like, yeah, thanks. He was almost crying, and like, this kept happening. All these people that just kept entering our field just started to just full on become themselves and like be just real, just in a space of love and that. And they're just like so happy. And I'm just like looking at it going, this guy's powerful, because I'm feeling it like tenfold. And like, there's something about this guy. Anyway, he went to his tent and went to bed. The night went on. Everyone went to bed, and I woke up the next morning, and it was nice early morning. It was beautiful in the forest and stuff. And he comes over again. This time I get a better look at him, because the whole time I was talking to him, it was in the dark, just moonlight, so I couldn't get a good view of him. And I was thinking about him all the time. That night I actually had a massive epiphany. Just as he left, I had a massive vision, like a massive, awesome vision that like gave me the complete understanding of the law of attraction and how it works and how I've been using it unconsciously through my life. Like, full on, like, the law of
Yeah, because
of
everyone's
course,
using it constantly.
Yeah.
Negative or positive, whether you're wearing it or not. Yeah.
I had this massive like epiphany of it, like just like a movie in my head, like full on just showing me. I was just like, oh, and I was just like, as it happened, I was like just explaining it to my mate and just like loading it onto him, and he was just like, yeah, I guess that makes sense, because like,
Sure.
yeah, pretty much. And then the next morning, I was just like blown away with this new understanding that I like have, that I feel like I have, like, oh my God. And the more I go deep into it, the more this vision was like on point. And so he comes over the next morning, and I'm kind of stunned, because I'm like getting a good look at him this time, and he just, if you know what Pleiadians are, I instantly thought, this guy's a Pleiadian. This guy's got to be a Pleiadian. Because he was a lot taller than I was. He was physically just fit and built. He looks like he's like a full-on athlete kind of guy. He's a lot more taller, like, I wouldn't say lanky, but if he was lanky, he's got all the muscle build and everything.
Athletic build.
Yeah, he was kind of like
lean,
like he had a body like the beings of Avatar, except he was like proper bronze. He wasn't tanned. His skin was like bronze, and it was like, fuck. It's like, it sounds like I got a crush on the guy, but like he was so like genetically refined, but
he was perfect.
yeah, he was chiseled jaw. He did have a chiseled jaw. He had like wavy, like blonde white hair, and just all the descriptions of what a Pleiadian is. But that wasn't the main thing I was looking at. The main thing that got me was his eyes.
Yeah.
His eyes were like bigger than yours and mine. Like they were like.
Oh, is it these actual eyeballs?
Yeah, his
Right.
actual eyes were just like, they were a lot bigger. The white parts of his eyes were just so milky white, and his eyeball, like his pupil, were just so detailed, so deep blue, so like rich or whatever. And it was just like the being that I woke up to. Like even
Yeah, right.
these both experiences were like a year and a half apart probably, but even when I woke up to the being in my room, how I was saying how I had all these emotions, I met you before, I thought of this bloke in that moment. I thought like, is that when I first met you, were you just disguising yourself as a human and coming up and talking to me, and then this is what you really look like? Like I even had that thought in that moment. So it's good that I'm telling these stories at the same time. So anyway, I was just like lost in his eyes, and he was just like smiling at me, like he knows that I know, but we're not saying anything, and he's just like laughing. And he just went out and he took me through the forest, and he's barefoot and everything, and he told me that he's been living out in the bush for like 6 months and everything by himself. And I was like, where are you from? And he just didn't tell me. He just like, I've just been here, just living out here, just being. I was like,
Just
wow,
chilling.
man, like,
Yeah.
dude, you're so mysterious. And every like couple of feet you'd be like, oh, you can eat this is really good for you, really good for your pineal gland, this is really good for your digestion and everything. Just going through every single plant, like everywhere we walked, and I believed him because he was eating it and stuff, and I like had a taste. I was like, that's really fucking nice, holy shit.
Whoa.
And I was like, I learned like a few edible bush tucker
Bush tucker.
in the bush because of this bloke. And he gave me a big hug when he left, and I was kind of like hesitant, so I ended the hug. Then he just continued hugging me like really tight, and then he let me go, and I was like, thanks man. And then he left, and as he was walking away, and I'm just seeing the back of him, like he's just walking off into the sunset basically, I'm just like, who is this guy? Like, do I trust him? Like, because I really feel a connection, and as I'm just about to like have that thought, do I trust him? This dog that was at the door just comes running out of nowhere, running through all these people, and just goes up to him and just jumps on him and just like playing with him, licking him. I was just like, that's how I trust people. If dogs like them,
yeah.
And that's how I go. Yeah,
They have the best
person, yeah,
judgment of character.
yeah,
for
definitely. And that happened. I was just like, wow.
sure. So weird.
And then it wasn't until after that I met him, I was like thinking about him and stuff, and then I actually had a vision when I was making Choomah Island 2, because I was really struggling with trying to make it. Like,
So this was during that.
yeah,
era.
so
Okay.
that gives you a
Okay.
good time period around 2015.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember I was driving home from Sydney, and I was just like having all these thoughts in my head, like, oh, am I gonna finish this episode? Am I gonna make it? Like, I was so under pressure, like in myself. I was burning on myself. This is when I was isolated, so I was completely alone.
I know,
making this.
it's all like mental construction.
Yeah.
Like, you have all this
Yeah.
pressure. Like, what are people? It's like, dude,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Like everyone's
Yeah.
pretty easy going about it.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, yeah, of course you get people constantly like, where's the next episode coming out?
That's
But
good.
it's
That
like-
means they want more.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'll just take it as good. Good. Keep wanting more. But I had a vision of him. Like, I had a full-on vision while driving, and I know it sounds dangerous, but like, if you've had a vision, you know what they're like. You can still do stuff, and it's just I can't explain it. But if you've had one, you know.
Yeah.
And I just saw this beautiful plane, like a movie playing in my head, like this beautiful like nature place of like a garden, and he was chilling in there, like this guy, and he was, the way he looked and everything, and he just looked at me, and he just kept pointing the road, metaphorically, because I'm like worrying about the episode. He said, just keep going, man, just keep going, just keep following the road. Yeah, just keep going.
The sign that says
There's
keep
a
going.
sign right there that says keep going. Wow. Well, there you go. And then, but the thing was, he was in a full-on silver jumpsuit, like not a jumpsuit, like it was almost like a wetsuit, but it was like what Superman first arrives to Earth in, like that really skin, like silver, awesome suit.
Like a jumpsuit kind of thing, but it's,
couldn't
something
tell you.
else.
I
It's
couldn't
like
tell you.
yeah,
It just looked
yeah.
really like detailed, like a Marvel character or something.
Right. Okay.
And
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, like. And then I started to research. This is shortly after I started to research what Pleiadians were, and I started to see like, holy shit, they resemble a lot like this guy that I met. They even wear the same kind of outfits that I saw in my vision. And then I started to think, was this guy Pleiadian? Because he like got me onto mushrooms. He got me onto like certain. He gave me an epiphany for one.
How long after that day did you take mushrooms?
It probably would have been a month later.
Yeah.
And then I started taking mushrooms, and that saved me. That pulled me out of like depression.
Yeah?
It
In
like
what
just,
way?
It just gave me a better understanding of what I was going through. Like, I'm not crazy. Like
Right.
it gave me a better way to see it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And understand it. Like, because when you're in the state, when you're when you got psilocybin in you, it's like you can see both sides of the coin, and you can just step away, separate yourself from it a bit, and just like see how it works. Go, oh, okay, with no emotion attached to it.
Step outside yourself.
Yeah.
Just view it from a different vantage point.
And then you come back in with that like feeling, and you go, okay, you just gain multiple perspectives.
Yeah.
Instead of just dwelling on one, going, is this how it is?
Yeah,
Is this cemented?
Of course. Like, assuming you do it like in the right context.
Oh yeah. A lot of.
And I hate always saying this, but like, you know.
Yeah.
Some people, not everyone who takes mushrooms has a profound transformative.
We
We're talking about last night. Yeah, it's
like that's when I tell my friends and when I tell our mates, and they're like, oh, I'd had an amazing mushroom trip the other day, and they're just like, oh yeah, just picturing Jarrad just taking mushrooms by himself, just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because there's a lot of people who just take mushrooms. They think it's like just some normal drug,
like,
and like they have a good time,
like
but not a lot of people actually have like a full on
and actually
experience.
respect it in that case. Like the way I did it, I'd go out in like nature by myself and like have all these deep thoughts and stuff, and just like climb. Like we went climbing the other day in the trees. And
best.
Like,
dude, that was so fucking good.
Yeah. That's what I do, man. It's just like go for a swim or something.
Just like connect with nature.
Connect with nature. Connect with
back
yourself.
to your roots.
Yeah, go back to your roots. Barefoot.
It's good to remind yourself who you are.
Yeah.
It's very easy to lose sight. Because you can have like the most profound trip in the world, and it's like, yes, I'm a changed man. But then if you just, it's very easy to fall back into old habits and
I've fallen back.
That.
I've had my experience and fallen back off and on and off and on. But like,
welcome.
Yeah,
you're a human being.
Yeah, exactly. That's just what the world.
Because beating yourself up is like a very egoic thing. Yeah. Like, I should be at this level. And
If you stay at that level,
because I'm like that. So I'm like overly self-critical, and it's something that I constantly have to work through, man.
Yeah,
like, dude, fucking take it easy, dude.
That's
like,
it.
Jesus,
Yeah,
you're so hard on yourself. And I'll say this right now, and I'll still be hard on myself.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm the same.
But I gotta remind myself. Yeah.
Because like we have this idea of like needing perfection, but like perfection like
it's all in the like in TV and mainstream news.
Yeah,
like you see in the movies.
somewhere else.
And then you see all these like superstar actors, and most of them are really messed up, man.
I kind of like
not everyone has it together.
I kind of like see it in a way like there is a dimension that a part of our soul, or if you want to get deep, or like a part of us or where we're from or something, it is perfect.
Our source energy. It
is perfect. It's all full of love, and when we come here to this earth, we're gonna get used to duality and stuff. Like,
of course,
you cut your fucking thumb, you're gonna go, fuck, that hurts. Why is this happening? I fucking hate this. I'm not enjoying this.
It's the paradox of like we're like infinite beings having a human experience.
Yeah.
And it's like you're one, but you're also a human. It's like yes, you're infinite, you're loved, there's non-duality and all that kind of stuff, but you're also on planet Earth. You're a human being. You live in the physical dimension. There are certain natural laws. Like, you can't just ignore certain rules. Like you said, like if you cut yourself, it's gonna hurt. You can't just be like, I'm a spiritual being, doesn't apply to me.
It's like the Aboriginal, what do they say? It's like, this is a place where we come, we learn, we grow, and then we return home.
I feel like this is like a school, like a cosmic. I don't know, like the vibe I get why we're here.
This catch of wisdom.
What is it? The class of the universe or whatever.
Yeah.
It's I mean, the vibe I get why we come here is like it is to grow, to learn, to play. It's not just to have pleasure. It's to have the whole gamut of human experience.
Jump on that reincarnation wheel. I think I'm gonna go to Earth and live 20 lives. I'll be an animal at the start of it. I might retire and be a kangaroo. And I'll be all the genders you can think of. I'll be his and hers and him and hers. And we'll see how we go. It's just like Alan Watts says, he's just like, you are it. It's like, what does he say at the end of this like really cool speech he does? He's like,
there's so many speeches, man. Yeah.
You know, as we all know, when people die, other people are born. And they're all you. Except you can only experience them one at a time.
There you go.
We all know that you are I. We all know you're you. I mean, doesn't it astonish you that we are this fantastically amazing thing? And you're doing all of this without any education on how to do it? Yeah, that's Alan Watts. he's a good listener if you don't know who Alan Watts is.
We were talking like the other day, it's like, wait, you kind of like, it's like you're remembering, you know?
Yeah.
It's like even when you have a mushroom trip, for example, it's like a lot of people have this overwhelming feeling of deja vu. And it's like,
yeah, remembering.
It's like this
past lives
indistinguishable feeling of like, I've definitely been here before.
Yeah, been here
like,
before. I know how to I know how to wiggle my fingers. This ain't the first time.
Yeah, it's like we come here with a blank.
vehicle.
We come here with a blank slate.
Yeah.
And maybe it's like, well, it will kind of be like watching a movie and knowing the end of it. It kind of ruin the fun of it.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Like I'm a person that I love spoilers. Like I love knowing how things work. I know.
Because you're telling me your theories, what's going to happen with the next Avengers. And I'm like, shut up! I don't want to know.
yeah.
I don't want to know nothing.
Avengers, Infinity War. They're gonna go back in time. Spoilers. I reckon Tony Stark.
You're supposed to say spoilers first, and then say the thing. It's like spoiler alert.
I'm putting money off it. If Marvel doesn't see this and then quickly change their writing, but I reckon Tony Stark's gonna go back in time, and there's gonna be some sort of time travel. They're gonna go back through some of the movies that you've already seen, and he's gonna get the stones before Thanos does. And make something like a new device of holding the stones, and he'd be like, I'm Thanos now, kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see.
I say, alright, you heard it here.
Infinity War was fucking great, by the way.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll get actually because you said like that was a big part of your inspiration for Choomah Island 3. Or sort of, or it's
just Marvel in general, man. Yeah. Like when the first Iron Man came out, that was when I was working on the comics, like for the first time. So I was in my room.
I didn't know that. So it was like the first.
Yeah.
So when the Marvel Cinematic Universe first began,
that was when my journey started.
Your Big Lez universe.
Yeah. So it was like, I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's really cool because they're up to it. They've just done Infinity War now, and I'm doing my version of Infinity War, which is Choomah Island 3. And that's like my Infinity War, all events in my episodes are leading up to this episode.
So did you know what was going to happen in Choomah Island 3 when you started?
Not really. Oh, kinda. You know,
like a general, maybe not specifics, but like a general kind of thing.
Les is always destined to fight the dead, fight the king, kill the cunt.
Kill the cunt.
But that's just where it's always led. Just like how the Avengers, they were always destined to fight Thanos.
Yeah.
After 10 years,
they knew from the start.
Yeah. Because
the mother of all collaborations.
Yeah. 10 years ago, that was when Iron Man came out. That's when I started doing the comics, and I didn't turn it into a show like a cartoon until 2012. Like I made it in 2011, but I released it in 2012. I think I can't even remember. It was like June sometime. But so the show's been going on for 6 years now, and yeah, this episode now is I've been waiting so long. Like,
speaking of, when the fuck is the episode coming out?
Another 3 years.
3 years?
No, I'm kidding. I can't tell by this point, because a lot of people ask me that, and I don't have like a schedule. I don't have a
take your time. Just take your time.
Oh, I know that.
I know that you will anyway.
Yeah.
You don't need me to tell you.
I know that. If I rushed it, it would be shit. But that's a lot of things what people don't get. They're like, if you change the new animating software, it will get done so much faster. If you had like more people to help you out, it would get done so much faster. And I don't say anything because I just can't be bothered. But like, fuck, a new program won't make it faster. It's not the drawing. I can draw really fast and do all that really fast, but no matter how I do it, if it's on paper, if it's on paint, if it's on a fucking drawn in the sand, I'll still take the same time to animate and edit. It's just the thinking.
The story, polishing it
Yeah,
up.
polishing. Where's the story going? I've got to connect all these fucking storylines. I've got to like, what are they going to say? What are they going to do? What's this scene going to be? And I'll be like, this is how I can't measure time, because I'll plan out a scene that I'm going to do, and I'll make it. And I go, all right, I'm on to the next scene. And just as I'm finished, I think of as I'm drawing, I'll think of like the funniest scene. I go, oh, that's hilarious. I can't not put that in. So there's another week added on just to add this one little detail in. And so it's unpredictable of what ideas, because I kind of make it as I go. People think I'm writing it and everything's in stone, but I can't write anything like I can write physically, but just once I've written an idea on paper, my brain instantly goes, no, you have to change it. Because as soon as I put something in stone, I go, nah, there's so many other possibilities.
Yeah, you're putting limitation on yourself. That's actually how Pixar writes with every single movie. They do a draft, which is completely...
It's because they're always on acid.
Of course they are.
Pixar, Disney, they're trippers. I mean, Bug's Life, as if you wouldn't be staring at the ant just going...
Because that's exactly how we think. You look at a bug, imagine if they just saw us from their perspective.
Exactly.
We're like this behemoth giant and shit, trying to kill them.
Make a fucking movie out of it, can't.
They've killed Barry, run! It'd just be so brutal.
I'm pretty sure they actually admitted they did acid for their movies. One of the workers did.
It's like, I wonder if toys had a life of their own. And then yeah, probably. But yeah, they write a draft, and then that actually turns out completely different to the final project, because they do it over and over and over and over again. They don't just stick with one script and it's like, all right, set in stone, this is what we got to do.
That's me to a T.
And it takes time.
It does take time. It takes as long as it takes.
Incredibles 2. Look how long that took for the sequel.
What?
But it's totally worth it.
14 years or
Totally
something?
worth it.
Oi, another spoilers for Incredibles 2. You know how, I'm pissed off with the fact that the Underminer got away. The Underminer.
He did.
He fucking got away. I waited 14 years to see that cunt put to justice. I was waiting for him just to get... just his neck broken 7 times. I was waiting just for Mr. Incredible to fucking absolutely just kill the cunt, and he got away. 14 years. I was waiting.
I didn't think of that. He actually got away.
They didn't. Yeah, and they just forgot about it. They're just like, oh, he got away.
Bigger and better things.
Yeah,
right?
bigger and better things. But
not that
14 years I waited for that cunt to get justice, and to see him just
after all, you know what? Fuck Pixar. No, I'm joking. Pixar's awesome. Don't sue me, Disney.
I'm sure he'll be in the third one. They're savouring him for the third one.
Yeah.
Kind of that's their Thanos. Hopefully, Pixar, if you can see this for some reason, justice to the mole. Justice to the Underminer.
He's got to go down.
He's got it. He's man. Sorry, that just really gets me. It really grinds my gears.
Of all the things that you've been through in your life, that's
I've waited.
Something that you struggle overcoming.
Yeah. I was so excited. I went to the movies with my mates. It was like, oh, I'm gonna fucking see him get fucked, get his ass handed to him. But nah.
Yeah. But like you're saying, so it takes a long time to get a good quality. To get a good quality script.
Yeah.
And that's something that even I've learned over time. I don't take months between videos because I can't afford that quite yet. I would like to. One day.
Oh, I'm barely people.
Yeah, but when you put more time and effort into each project, people see that you've put in the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
you can feel it.
You can feel it. It becomes more timeless versus. Yeah. I know, because even YouTube these days is just saturated with daily vlogs. Yeah. Daily. Could you imagine doing a daily?
Daily.
Could you imagine doing a daily vlog?
man,
You know what I mean?
people are like wanting, oh, we want an episode a week. It's like, I couldn't do that.
No, I really appreciate the way you do it, because you can tell. It's not even just from the animation, though. You can tell that you put a lot of effort into the story, into the dialogue. It just feels more.
Thanks.
So just keep doing what you're doing. Don't, yeah.
Cheers, brother. Yeah, oh, of course. Like, like that's another thing I want to say is I don't let this shit get to me. Like I have, before in the past. Of course, when it was new, they were just like, we want it now. We want it now. We want it tomorrow. We want it fucking yesterday. It's just like, how do I make all these people happy? I'm sorry. But now it's just like, fucking wait.
That's the illusion, though. Then no one's ever going to be happy.
Exactly. That's what someone told me about. Someone told me about like this guy who made cartoons or comics. No, he made comics. My mate Daniel actually told me this. Yeah. He said, no matter what I've made or something, like no matter what the majority of my fans have told me what to do, I'll go in their direction. Like say, people want longer issues or whatever like that, I'll do that. Everyone got disappointed. So I went back to shorter issues because everyone wanted shorter. Everyone got disappointed. Yeah, because like no matter what, it's all about what you like. Like if you enjoy it.
Yeah, it's easy to drift off the path, man. That's something that happened to me, and it's when you start a channel or the Big Lez Show, and then you get all these criticism and all. Everyone has an opinion, right?
Character building.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's attaching yourself to the positive comments can be just as damaging as attaching yourself to the negative comments.
Yeah, if you don't listen to
if it's not aligned to who you are, and then you're like, oh well, this seems to be more popular. This is what more people want, so I should start doing more of this. Yeah. But then if it's not, aligned with what you really want to do, then you become depressed and you kind of lose sight for who you are.
You gotta stay on your rope.
Man.
Stay on your path.
How do you approach that? Like staying true to who you are, like reminding yourself on why you're here, kind of thing.
Well, I had trouble with that before what I said on the last podcast, my Kundalini experience. Yeah. Before that, I'd say lost in a way. I always knew who I was. Like I always did things on my own. I'm kind of like I enjoy my own company. Like I go hang out by myself in the woods and stuff. Like a lot of my time is to get away from civilization, get away from people and stuff, and just just hang out and just
recoup,
chill. Recharge all the time, man. I'm like it's like a balance. Like I can hang with people and everything and be so extroverted, but I'm also very introverted. Yeah. Like I got to do balance, but to like stay balanced, to stay who I am, I guess. I don't know. I just always just known who I am, I guess. And after all these experiences that I've told you, they just kick you into gear, I guess. They just like remind you. They kick you in like it's
like you're straying off the path. It's like
yeah.
And then you start to go
literally.
Remember, just keep going
to the point where it's just always on your mind, like not like you're thinking of it or obsessing of it. It's just always there. It's your default.
Yeah.
That's just what it is now.
Staying grounded. Yeah.
Yeah, grounded. I suppose like to stay grounded, like I'll climb trees. Go hang out in nature.
We climbed trees the other day. It was awesome.
That was really
It's like, I almost died.
You'll be right. You'll be right.
I survived.
Trees are strong. The trees are strong. But,
that was awesome, man. It was like seriously like one of the best forms of meditation I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sick.
Because it's like one of those things. Like if you think about it too much, then that's when the fear kicks in. Yeah. That's when you start becoming uncoordinated. That's when you don't trust. Yeah. But when you actually just
let go.
Just let the kind of branches. I've got videos. I'll probably make a video out of it. But it's pretty awesome, dude.
And that Doctor Strange quote again. You cannot beat a river into submission. You can only surrender to its current and use its power as your own. That's like climbing trees. Like you just surrender.
It's life, isn't it?
Yeah, it's life. It's everything. It's with everything. But
because you don't have control in the grand scheme of things. You're just like kind of passenger along the ride. Yeah. But you can choose to, like you said, using the current as your force.
Use like gravity as well to like if you start falling, just fall that way and
exactly. Like take care of your meat vehicle. Start eating healthy, meditate, spend time with good people, do what you want to do.
That's one. That's the one.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, stay balanced. I met this like really full on Mike Nolan bloke that was like 40 years Mike Nolan. He drives trucks and everything.
I know too many like Mike Nolans.
And I was like, thinking he's just on the piss all the time, and because he was a big built bloke, and I like thought, oh yeah, so you like have a few beers or whatever when you like driving the trucks and that, or like get a big steak and all. He's like, nah mate, just eat me fruits, me nuts, bottles of water. Every now and again I have a chicken palmy and a pub, you know, but stay healthy mate, and things will never be better. He was proper like,
awesome.
I even used.
He was
like that. Yeah, he was. This bloke was even inspiration for the actual character Mike Nolan, because they sounded the same anyway. So his mannerisms and the way he said things added on to the character. So if you,
I love it.
If you heard him say, what he used to always say, fucking, you know what it's like, Jarrad, mate, like, fucking, like, he'd be telling me about the cops and stuff, and how he doesn't like cops, and he's just like, and the fucking cop, fuck, the other day, he's like, you know what it's like, Jay, you know what it's like, don't you? Like, I was like, yeah, fuck, I know, he's like, you know what's going on, and he's just like, he used to always just say that.
Like the cops.
Yeah, he didn't have that. But
yeah,
like,
no, but that's
why,
that's where the inspiration comes from. It all makes sense now.
Yeah. And like I've said before, like, I don't know what we're talking about now, but like the characters, like, they're all their voices, they're all based off like real people.
That's what I was actually going to ask you. So is each character inspired from...
They're not inspired by one person, it's inspired by a collective.
Okay, so do you have any characters that is based on like one specific person?
That's a good question, but...
Is that a new one that you got coming up?
Yeah, there's this... Yeah. Yeah. He's based on one person, this bloke. I
saw a video of this guy, he's hilarious. He's a cartoon character.
Yeah. I'm making this... spoilers. I'm making this new character. He's got to be a brand new protagonist in a new project that I'll be working on in future. Basically, he's just this like full-on farmer Aussie dude with like an Akuba and everything. He's like tall and like probably he looks about 60 or 70, but he's still going strong. And he talks a bit like this, mate. It's kind of like the devil in one of the episodes that I've already made. I made the devil. He's got the same voice as him, and it's just this place that I go camping to all the time, and he owns the property of this campsite, and you pay $20 and he'll let you camp on his land, and he gets your firewood and everything. And I was picking shrooms on his property one time, and I was just like going for the grass, and he saw me from really far away. And he's just driving up on his like big white ute with his dogs in the back, and he just yells out, "Oh, you lost your keys or something?" And I crack it up like, "Nah, they're just mushrooms." And he's like, "Oh, don't have too many of them, mate. Don't have too many of them. We got some datura flowers up in the homestead." I'm like, "Oh, nah."
I love he tells you don't eat too many mushrooms, but have some datura. Yeah, got some hectic fucking.
You're bloody into them. You get into the datura flowers, it'll be alright. And like. It'd show off by showing you how good his hearing is, but like he just knows how his land works. Like it'll be just dead quiet, and I'll be talking to him like, "Oh, so how big's your property? How many acres is there?" He's like, "Is that a dog I hear barking?" You hear nothing at all. Must be just Cousin Warren's dog down the end of the valley. He's like, "We're not hearing any dog. Like you've got super hearing, like you just
proper
got,
bushman.
Yeah, proper sight as well, because he like
Definitely.
he gets campers coming in. And you got to ring him up to book, and then he comes over. He just sees a caravan just so far away over the hills, over this like dirt road. And he just sees this caravan coming up, and she goes, "Who's this fella? You're supposed to be here at bloody 5 o'clock. It's bloody 6 now. He's bloody." Must have got lost down on that road down in bloody Tioga. But, oh man. So I'm making a character out of this dude. I won't tell you anymore, but just remember that voice and you'll know that he's
awesome,
a real person.
Okay, so that guy is based on a specific character that you've met in real life. And then everyone else kind of like a more of an archetypical thing.
Yeah, like
Mike
Nolan.
You hundreds of Mike Nolans.
You'll know a Mike Nolan somewhere.
Definitely.
Big Lez, there's a lot of Lezes out there. Like seriously, Quinnen is also like kind of like.
Is
an
Big Lez
archetype.
like a
Big
kind
Le-
of a dad figure?
He's a dad figure,
Like,
like the kind of bloke that stands out. Like
he's always angry.
yeah, he's always pissed off about something. Like he's just not having the best day, but he just kind of bloke that if you're skating in your street and stuff, he'll be like out in his lawn, just like looking at you, like you know, by the fucking mailbox, just with his hands on his hips, just like giving you a look. But sassy even. I've met a couple of sassy characters, but no one can be sassy because sassy is an 11th dimensional being. And sassy is he is it.
Yeah.
He is it. And but his voice, I've heard his voice so many times from people like, "G'day mate, how you going? Or yeah, nah." Like I've even got a mate that I see on the reg that like talks like this, man. Hey, oh, nothing much, just gone surfing.
So true, man.
Yeah.
I had a few of those mates growing up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
"Oh,
You
you
know-
know, and they're
no.
always stoners. It's like a
Yeah.
specific stoner.
Oh, everyone's
Aussie
a
thing.
stoner.
Yeah, everyone's a stoner, but
Yeah,
like I don't know. There's something about that particular voice, man.
It,
Oh, yes,
the-
mate,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
mate.
and that's
Take us
it.
home, mate.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like when I come up with these voices, I didn't like make them up on the spot. I'm imitating real life people because I've seen them so many times. I'll just start using their charisma. Like there's even a bloke that I've
Like the essence of their their character. Yeah,
like
yeah.
the bloke I was telling you about, who I've been like hanging with every now and again. Come like in the night with all my mates. He's like a bit older bloke, and he just comes up to you and just goes, he always points to you like this, like with the knuckle, like he just always taps you like, it's good to see you there, Jarrad. Fine character like yourself. They're coming out on this fine evening that we've got here. What would you like to do? Would you like to indulge, or would you like to go to the local watering hole, as they call it, there, Jarrad.
The way he speaks that hardly gives you any eye contact.
No,
And that's
he's
why I
always
just make sure you keep.
he
paying
does the
attention to me.
same thing all the like every time I'm talking to him. It's just the same movements, same pose,
Same
everything,
mannerisms,
same
yeah.
sentences. I actually did his impression to him. Like I was like, "Hey mates, how's your night going? Specific character like yourself." And he just goes, "Oh, Jarrad, yes, it's pretty good there, my friend." So it was just like two of him talking, and he couldn't even tell that I was like doing like impersonation of him because he was just like, well, fucked at the time, but like,
Of course.
yeah,
As you do.
oh, it's good fun. But I do that all the time. I always imitate people, and this bloke on the farm is my new target. What's his name? I think his name's Neil. But I'm gonna call his I was like just his mannerisms being like, "Oh Neil, how was your last weekend? Well, I heard it was pretty busy on fucking New Year's, mate. I was flat out like a lizard drinking."
Because the lizard goes flat.
Yeah. If you're not from Australia, when lizards drink, they like go to they're worldwide lizards, but like
Yeah.
when you walk,
Only Aussies will probably know this.
yeah, the Australian lizards, when they walk over to a pond, they like just flatten themselves out and just start licking
Flat out.
flat out like a lizard drinking, mate. Flat out.
That's the best analogy.
Yeah. I cracked up when he like. This is where I get this shit from.
Yeah.
Like I get
There's
these
inspiration
sayings
from everywhere.
Inspiration. Yeah.
And how's your inspiration, like, how's it evolved over time versus, like, when you first started doing Big Lez? Because I noticed, especially Choomah Island 2, that's when I had, like, a whole new level of respect for your work. Because it's went a whole other layer, man.
It's
Like,
because
it
I
went
was
so
on a
much
whole
deep.
nother level.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that was something else. That was something else there, Tom. To be honest, if you will, but yeah,
I just
man.
did a shitload of mushrooms and
Yeah, I did. Not
did.
just mushrooms, but just going deep in general of just trying to get a grasp.
Yeah, it sounded like a
on
pretty
this
heavy
perception of
transition,
reality.
huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everyone's got to go through their transition. Like
It's not always like, you know,
It's-
sunshines and lollipops.
That's the thing that pisses me off about this whole, like I was saying.
Actually, we'll go back because I know you're gonna talk about
Yeah,
that, the
yeah.
whole New Age thing.
Yeah.
Because like you're talking about, to circle back at the beginning of the podcast, you're talking about entities and whatnot, and some are benevolent, maybe some are malevolent, maybe some are
It's
government
all-
conspiracies. Maybe it's a mix. It's all the
all
above.
the
Right?
above,
Of course
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are just have that naive optimism, and they just believe like, oh, that looks like a light being. It must
Yeah.
be, and it's like that
Must
human
be
thing.
nice, I'm gonna trust
yeah,
it.
that entity that I have no idea about must be here to help me.
Yeah,
kind
so
of
I'm
thing.
gonna trust it. Yeah.
So how do you distinguish from something that's truly benevolent
Yeah.
and good for you, or wants the best for you, and something that's maybe not good, and maybe something that may be deceptive, which could be a good warm up to your story, where you said you took mushrooms one day. Do you want to go into it, like where you almost it's pretty crazy? Like you guys got to hear this shit.
That's the thing there, Tom, is these characters just they just pop out of nowhere at certain times in life, and that's just how we're built to be. They're
Don't fucking and it's an annoying one.
wait for it. He'll do that. You make him laugh, and you just be like,
For whatever reason, pointing just really annoys me. I had an IT teacher which used to we used to like try to play games when she's not looking. He's like, "Oi, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Fuck off, touching me."
yeah, bony fingered duck. That was a quote that I forgot, but anyway, what was it? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So where was the setting? What was the dose?
This was a bad trip story, but I look at it like we were saying before, the worst trips teach you the most.
Most cases. Because there is a distinct. I just want, before you start, I do want to distinguish between a bad trip and a challenging trip.
Yeah.
Right. Because a challenging trip, well, most people consider, oh, that was a bad trip, that was scary, that was fucked up, whatever. Over time, that's usually what teaches you the most if you integrate it.
Yeah.
And then there are just the bad trips where it's like, I don't know, you do it, you take 10 grams in the middle of the city and you're like 14, you have a psychosis breakdown. That's probably not going to be good for you, and it's most likely going to fuck you up. Yeah. So yeah, just to distinguish those.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This one, because I'll be able to tell this story and tell the difference between a good trip, which was yesterday on the fucking mountain. So, this was an earlier time during my like awakening stages. So I was just coming new to all the fascination of just like, oh, this is how things really work, and like learning all this the polarity of
the law of polarity, Jack. That's
that's the thing there, Tom. Is so I had these amazing experiences for the start of my journey, and the first one, like my Kundalini experience, was the best one. Like that was just
link in the
pinnacle.
description below if you want to hear Jarrad's story. First podcast.
You hear it.
Yeah.
Like that experience was literally like dying and ascending to what you'd call heaven, or what that feeling is.
Yeah.
Just returning
Just
to
the feeling.
the source of love. Like
that's what Jesus said. Kingdom of heaven is within.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah,
Just
true.
say it.
Yeah,
It's not like this. It's not up in the clouds.
Exactly.
But anyway, that's
exactly.
a whole other
That's a
topic.
whole other thing,
Yes. Yeah.
So after that first experience, I was obviously hooked. I was like, I want that again. I'm searching for that again, and it all happened that way, so I can it will lead me to it, and purposely better myself so I can attain it again. But during the start of my journey, I was just like, oh, maybe I'll take acid again, or like maybe I'll take some shrooms, or maybe I'll just like trip out and see if I can get closer to this reality again. So I was separating myself, thinking this is somewhere else, this is another place that I got to get to, when really it's inside the whole time.
And probably like a premature, like you're trying to force.
I was trying to
skip
force
ahead.
it. Yeah,
right?
I was trying to skip ahead. I was trying to fast track my journey, because I
story of my life
very-
until I had to have the most brutal lesson in the world to finally
it
like,
gets
okay,
that.
just slow down, trust the process, enjoy.
That's what this story is.
Yeah.
So this was during the time I was making Choomah Island 2 as well, with me playing with shrooms all the time.
Yeah. So what was the dose for this particular one?
This
Do you
one
remember?
was, I don't remember the exact dose, I just remember it was a big, this is a cool story actually. Alright, scenario, middle of the day, I was on the hunt for mushrooms. I was out in the paddock near my dad's. I was going for a walk. It was a hot day. It was dry. There was no mushrooms at all. There was just no mushrooms to be seen. So I was just like, oh fuck,
Just
bummed.
dry.
Yeah, absolutely dry. The season's over, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then as I'm walking and I'm giving up, I hear a snake, a brown snake, go, and I like looked over. No joke at all. There was a snake perfectly coiled around one mushroom.
Fuck off.
And this mushroom, it hadn't flared yet, so it's like still got
like the
ball on
frills
top.
haven't.
Yeah. So it's perfectly fresh, and it was like pretty big. It was probably like that tall, and the ball of it was like,
That's massive.
it was like fucking
And
penis
just
shaped.
for those un-Australians, you're ready to tell them what a brown snake is.
Brown snake is just
obviously not the fact it's a snake that's brown.
a deadly. Probably the deadliest snake we have. It's called taipan, like the eastern taipan. I don't even know. I just call them brown snake.
They'll mess you up. Like
Yeah,
they kill you, right?
Kill you in 3 minutes or something like that. Like you're dead if you get bitten by one of these. But anyway,
Australia. Anyway.
yeah, I saw this. There was a perfect snake just coiled around just one mushroom. It wasn't even in cow shit. It was just in the grass, just perfectly standing up. It would just look. I didn't have a phone, so I couldn't take a photo of it. But the snake just went, got my attention. I looked over, and he was just leaving and going into the grass, and the rest of his body's just uncoiling from this mushroom. So I'm just like, whoa, like I'm meant to take this kind of like attitude.
Like a synchronicity.
Yeah, synchronicity, because I was like, this was happening every day for me. I was in it because I was isolated. I was always by myself, so I'm having these kind of experiences every day, and like shit like that with nature, doing really cool stuff like that, getting my attention, so many other experiences that I won't go into now. But I was just in that state where everything was just magical, and I was seeing nature really working, and how society doesn't work with that, and how just the different they just need to connect anyway. So I grabbed the mushroom, and I didn't take it just yet. I was waiting till like late afternoon, and then because I waited for my dad to go to bed, because I was always up at night.
Yeah.
And this was the point when I was living at my dad's, and we've got this he has this big picture of a tiger in the living room, and he's had it since he was like 20, so it's been in the house ever since I've been alive. And it's a pattern. It's a tiger, but it's a tiger's face with his eyes, but it's all like made of like a full-on pattern. So it's not a proper picture of a tiger. It's just like a pattern making a tiger's face.
It is like a symmetrical.
It's symmetrical, yeah. It's
like a tribal pattern kind of thing, or
kind of like that, yeah, like a tribal pattern. That's the best I'll have to get a photo of it.
Yeah, we'll stick with that for now.
Yeah. And I'm getting to that point, but so my dad went to bed, and I took the mushroom, and I stay up till like 3. Well, back then I did stay at 3 or 4 till the sun comes up, really, because that's where I got most creative. So I took this mushroom knowing that I'm going to experience something because of the snake. It like gave me a full-on it was a full-on sign. So coming up to the trip, and I wasn't tripping. I was just kind of feeling it coming on, and I was just walking around just in my living room, and then I look over at the picture of the tiger, and it's just on the wall, perfect eye level. And I wasn't even tripping at this point, not really. I was just feeling it coming on. So this wasn't like a trip related thing I was hearing. I was just started staring at it like I was making a drink or something, like a coffee or some shit, and I just got distracted by it. I was just staring into his eyes, into the tiger's eyes on the picture. And then like I walked around the kitchen, and I just started looking at it on the wall, and I was probably about 5 meters away from it. So I'm just like staring at it, and then I get a voice in my head saying, step a little closer, just like step a little closer. So I did. I was like, let's see where this goes. because that was in the spot where I was just like, yeah, any experience I can get, I'm going to take it.
Curious cat.
Yeah, curious.
Yeah.
I was very curious because it was all very new to me.
Yeah, I completely relate.
So anything I'll be going towards
new experience. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, please. I want to learn as much as I can.
Yeah.
And I was looking for that feeling again of going back to that place, having the same Kundalini experience.
Yeah.
And when I got there, when he said, step a little closer, I assumed it was the tiger because I was looking at it at the time and it felt like a presence was in this sheet, like this really old school sheet. It's from Sri Lanka, this thing. So someone's probably made it and put energies into it. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But as I got there, I started to do this breathing technique all of a sudden and lifting up my arms. It was almost like a yoga kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I started to feel the risingness of the Kundalini coming through my feet, up my legs, and like in the base of my spine, like real hectic, real energy. And I was like feeling it kind of crawl up my spine like a snake, like, whoa, this is that energy. Like, oh my God, like I'm about to have this experience again. I was like kind of like going, oh shit, am I ready to go back there? Because that was intense. Like still to this day, that was the most profound experience I've ever had and ever will have until I die, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because it felt like dying, proper dying, like being shoved out of your body, and you're way more massive than just this little body. You become the sun, like bigger than the sun. Like you go out of this universe. It's
yeah, I bet.
It's out of this world, so to speak. There, Tom. He's probably got to say this one day, like, Jarrad, you cunts. So I'm trying to. So I'm.
See you making fun of me on the Your Mate Tom podcast.
It's very laughable. I must admit, but I had a full proper belly laugh, man. Seeing you do my impression. Just don't do it again, Jarrad. Nah, you'd have a kick out of it. But fucking yeah. Anyway, so this Kundalini's rising, and I'm full on feeling the energy, and I can feel this presence still there. The TV's on in the living room, and it's on like really quietly, so I can barely hear it, but I can see it in my corner of my eye.
Yeah.
And as it's rising, it's going through my chakras, like as it did. You know, I know this feeling. I'm feeling it, and it's about to rise to my head. And in this moment, I'm looking around, going like, "Is this the right place to do this? Like, I don't feel like I'm in control of this. Who is this being in the first place? What's going on?" So just before it reached my crown chakra, and I was about to be blown into it, I rejected it. So it went. The energy rose up and went, and I went, nah. And went, and then I just started sweating. It was the middle of winter. It was probably August or July or something. And
what made you stop?
Because I just didn't trust it. I was just like, nah, there's something going on here. This is forced. I feel like I'm being tricked. There's a presence here. The first time it happened, I didn't have a being do it to me or any deities. It was in its perfect time on the hill that I live, and
the source.
I wanted to be out in nature for this to happen. Yeah. And this was at night time. I wasn't in the right headspace or whatever, but it just felt like forced. Anyway, I rejected it, and I just felt all this just negative, just like it was just all this energy is just diluting, and I'm just sweating profusely, and my heart was beating heaps, and I was just spinning out. I just saw purple, it was like the mushroom kicked in right in that moment. All in that moment, I used all of it up just in that moment, because I was sober after this experience, and I just started seeing like triangles spinning, just heaps of purple triangles spinning around, and I didn't really, I knew something was going on. I'll get to it in a sec. But I just looked up, because I can barely open my eyes, and I looked up, and there was 3 tall sentinel, I call them light beings, that were standing around me. One was standing on my right, one was standing on my left, and I didn't see the one behind me, but I can just feel there was another one behind me, and they were just tall, like big sentinels, like mannequins, like they were just made of light. You can't see their face, and I was just seeing them like that, like, and they were really tall, and they were like physical but not physical. It's like I was seeing them in my third eye more than my actual eyes, I guess. And their energy was just awesome, and just protection, like a big egg shaped light force field just like kind of surrounded me. And they're like around me like this with their arms out linking to each other, and I just had to sit down just in the middle of them, and I wasn't scared or anything like that. I was just like more like, oh, thanks for being here kind of thing, like I need this because I'm fucked. And then I heard from behind these beings the being on the wall saying I am your master. And I heard that, and I was just like so vulnerable, and I was just like sweating. I can hear this. It was like a demon like saying, I am your master. And I was hearing that, and I was just like, no one's my master. How dare you say that to me? Like, I'm my master. No one has a master. Everyone's their own master. I know this. And I stood up, and it was like how I explained to you before. It was like standing up underneath a trampoline, like trying to stretch. Yeah. Like stand up with a trampoline on your head, because the energy was just forcing me down.
With that gravitational.
Yeah. It was full on hectic. I was like standing up, like, and as much as it really hurt, and like I was just weak and about to pass out, I just had to stood up with all the power I had left, just standing up just to this thing saying, you're not my master. Like I don't believe you. I don't trust you. Get out of my house. And as in this time, I was looking at it. This lion face. It was a tiger face, not a lion. Sorry. The eyes and the pattern. How I was saying it was really geometrical. Yeah. When I looked at it, my eyes went cross-eyed like this. So the picture changed. Like, here's the two eyes. The picture did this, and the eyes stayed like they were far away, just like a tiger's face, and I had my eyes crossed like that. So the picture is now transformed to the tiger's head doing that, to like...
Yeah, kind of inverted.
I can draw a picture of it, actually.
Alright, good. You have the pencil?
Yeah, the pencil's just here.
Right there.
And it was just a black silhouette like that.
That's crazy.
That's what the picture morphed into. And that's what I felt. It was like a really strong energy, and I can still do it today. I can still look at that same picture, cross my eyes, and see the same silhouette being. Like, I can still see it. And I was like, did I tap into like the trick of this painting? And after that,
that's interesting.
Because as I was saying, this was I was really trying to search for that feeling again. I was just like, I want to skip everything. I just want to go back to that place. Right. I just want all this
like
information.
An impatient kid.
Yeah, like an impatient. Exactly, like all my fans. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's all
I kid. And so in that time when I got full on fucked up by this thing, I felt like it left. The crystal beings or light beings were still there protecting me, and I was so hot, so I stumble into my room taking off clothing as I go, like I'm just fucked, like I'm on ketamine or something, like, oh fuck, can't. And then like I get to my bed, I'm just in my undies at this point, just like like how I said, I turned everything on, turned my light on, had my dog in my room to protect me, chucked on a happy show, How I Met Your Mother, and gives a good vibe and a happy vibe and laughter of the audience of the sitcom, and just
of course,
just make everything happy in 3D and stuff.
I bet
like
that movie you just need to watch like puppies or
and I was sitting on my bed and I was just like going, I'm not ready. Like, I'm not ready. I was too impatient and I was asking for it, and I nearly got tricked. Like, what if I let it give me that experience? Like, what if that was an entity? It could have, like, possessed me if I left my body or something like that. Because I've heard stories they can do that.
Yeah. And again, whether it's in your head or, like, real entities, the experience is the same. It can still fuck you up or help you. So it doesn't really matter.
So what I learnt from that is, you can be deceived so easy, especially people that are new to this and are just like looking for experiences like I did. You've really got to use your intuition, your trust, and that's what saved me. Was thinking this doesn't feel right when it was happening. What I was feeling the Kundalini come up, but I just knew on a deep level this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel. This almost feels like a trick. Like I do not feel the way I felt when it first happened. That was all pure love. This has a gut feeling about it. So
Yeah.
that's when I learned how to discern what's good and what's bad. Even when I see the UFOs and stuff, like I'll see a satellite and just have no emotion to it. Go, oh, that's a satellite, and then I'll be right. It was a satellite. Like you can use apps that can track them and stuff like that on your phone.
Yeah.
But you'd see other ones that like you look at it for a bit, and then you just you have a feeling, a connection. You just like certain groups that come in like and make you feel real happy and like you get really excited. You turn into a kid again.
Yeah.
And
all giddy.
giddy. Yeah. And I've had that so many times when I've seen the ships that like I truly remember.
Yeah, well, because all those kind of entities, they come into all different sides of the spectrum. You know?
Yeah.
And sometimes, like you just explained in your story, they can appear to be like a light entity, like they're here to help you, but really, they're like,
these light
they've
beings,
got bad intentions.
These light beings that came in, they were good. They came in right at the perfect moment. Go, he's in trouble. He's being tricked. He's about to do something. We'll come in and we'll fucking they were shielding me like this.
Yeah.
And it was I was so safe in whatever these guys' presence were. I don't know who they are. I haven't seen them since, but I've heard so many reports from other people that have experienced the same kind of beings. So they just call them light beings or sentinels. And I just felt just so safe, so protected when they came. Like it was just like you're a kid, you're like a young kid, and your parents and all your brothers and all your dad's mates come over and just like, we got ya. It was even more so comforting than that would be. So somewhat like that, but they were like more tall. They were just like, have you ever seen the movie The Day the Earth Stood Still?
No, I've heard of it though. I know, I haven't seen it though.
There's a full on robot dude in it that's just like a full on mannequin or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's just straightforward and just I don't know. It just reminded me of that, what these beings were like, and they were just tall and.
That's so crazy though that you're like that close, like the energy was
man.
right here, and just that last second you're like, I don't know,
Because I was really desperate to feel that same feeling again, but I just like in that moment was like, nah, I can't say yes to this. I'm sorry, and then
it's like I said the last couple of days as well. Like Carl Jung used to say, like be aware of unearned wisdom. It's like you gotta really respect the process and. Acknowledge where you're at, because everyone wants to like skip to spiritual enlightened master, and
that's
it's like
I was.
And it's like you don't even have like your shit together in a lot of ways, you know. Not saying it in a derogatory way, because I don't have a lot of my shit together, but it's like
no one ever does.
You know, you got to kind of
go through
build
steps.
the foundations first. You know, have your relationships set up, like you get. You know, start eating health. Like if you can't do these simple things, what makes you think you can
jump
from there? Yeah.
That was my
and you gotta like let go of a lot of emotional baggages, because if you've got a lot of these repressed negative trauma, and then when you go into those kind of spaces, that's what gets projected. It gives you like a perverted view of reality. So it's like all about purifying. Yeah. It's a process, man.
And that's what we're getting at with the whole new agey stuff these days.
The new age religion.
Yeah, it's that everyone just thinks it's all love and light, and and evil doesn't exist. It only exists because you make it exist, kind of thing. But it does. We live in a place of duality, and it's just like we all have that trait within us. We all have evil traits, we all have light traits, like
and they're just labeled, because people can say like, oh, it's just a human projection, and it's like, well, yeah, the word hot and cold are human projections, but they still point to real phenomena. You know what I mean? And if you be like, I don't believe in hot, it's like, all right, put your hand in a boiling pot of water, see how you go. It's like, in this earth it does exist. And it's like, the same thing. Like I think I know what they're saying though, like when the whole evil thing doesn't exist because it's a projection of our mind, and duality is an illusion. It's like, I get it, but those are like the higher levels of spiritual development, but we're not even there. You can't
turn a blind eye to evil. Like
that's how evil runs amok.
Yeah, that's how evil.
If you ignore it, it will just get. It's like with the shadow. If you ignore all the personality aspect, the negative traits of yourself, and you're just like, oh, it doesn't exist. Imagine saying like, I don't believe in the shadow. I don't believe in negative personality traits. And then that would just brew, like kind of manifest in your unconscious.
The thing is,
yeah.
even with this conversation, like it's looking at light and darkness like they're two separate things kind of fighting over who's going to win eventually. But the truth is it's all one and the same thing. Just like the yin yang, like.
Well, darkness is not the opposite of light. It's the absence of light. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. It's just like...
and light is always going to be more powerful. Like if you get a dark room, let's say if you get a completely dark room, if you flash a torchlight, it's going to fill it up. Like you can't... The darkness can't overpower the source of light itself. You know what I mean? So if you are in a dark spot, know that there is a light. You just got to keep going. That's the thing. But light does overpower the darkness. Yeah. Oh, and I truly believe that.
Sure.
Like, that's one of my core belief systems.
You just look at it in nature. Like seeds have to be put in a... This is what my marijuana plant taught me. Was I
love how you say that. You know, that old marijuana.
I try to explain this. I try to explain this story to Josh Wade, and he was just like, "Oh, so you saw a cartoon face talking to you on the plant?" Like, no, dude. It's not voices or anything. It's metaphors. Like we witnessed it the other day in the trees. Like it's all
metaphors.
It's all metaphors.
Law of correspondence, as above, so below. Yeah. So that's anyways.
So the way I grew the plant was like I pushed the seed in the darkness, in the dirt, in darkness, dirt, you know, and it's got to struggle through the dirt, through the darkness to finally touch the light. And as soon as it comes out and it's got sunlight on it, that's when it can finally beam and be what it like truly meant to be. But as you're saying, Carl Jung had this same expression that
for a tree to reach the heaven, its roots must go towards hell.
Yeah.
And the more roots it has, because it's like it tries to go all these different paths. It's like nah. And you think each route, each failure is like, oh, I've just wasted my time. I've done nothing. It's like no, it's all part of the whole. Yeah, it's all part of the whole thing.
All those roots are what holds it in place in the darkness, and that's a lot like where we're going. That's what taught me about humanity and the world and where we're going at the moment. Is that if you believe in parallel universes and parallel
like
timelines and stuff, is that all the timelines have all been calculated, and they just keep calculating until one of them finally coalesces and just calculates to go to the light, to go to the main stem of the plant and become the flower at the top. Like that's the future that you're supposed to be heading to.
Yeah. Definitely.
And that's like with the whole new earth thing, like we're heading to a new earth. There could be multiple new earths, just like in a plant, just stemming from the one plant. There's multiple branches that have flowers at the end of it.
All different types of futures. Like there could be a horrific one, it could be a good one, but it's up to us and what we do
Which
now.
one we want to go to.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing about the horrific futures is we've probably already lived them. And that's the roots that are grounding us.
I feel I've had experiences like that.
Same, man. Yeah, I've felt like...
It's really dark. But that darkness, and it's like real fucked up, but it makes you...
Stronger.
It builds so much kind of empathy and compassion, that drive to want to do better, because it's like... you don't want to go down there. You don't want to go down there.
Feel it, Anakin.
Feel it.
Makes you stronger.
No! I don't want it.
Powerful.
What's the Bane one?
Fucking Bane. If you know Bane off Batman, fucking...
We didn't come here to be conquerors, but as liberators, to return the control of the city to its people. And this here is a bomb. And one of you holds the detonator. This heroic Gothamer. This unsung hero. Will release the bomb if any of you attempt to flee, or if the outside world tries to interfere. Gotham is yours. Do as you please.
I don't know the quotes too well, but I know his voice.
Well, like you say, like it's really important to kind of acknowledge the darkness, and humans learn more from pain than they do from pleasure. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depends how you want to look at it. But
you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it. molded by it.
There you go.
There you go. Bane's
And
on
maybe
the subject.
even the whole villain archetype, it's like
Yeah.
the reason why we even look at them as a villain because they're saying such horrific dark truths that we just don't want to even, we don't want to acknowledge, man.
The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, but the way they do it, I suppose. It's like Thanos, you know what I mean? It's like, he has a point how we are out of balance and blah, 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 but
This universe is finite. Finite in its resources.
But where he's wrong is how he goes about it. He tries to play God, right?
Yeah,
he tries to impose his will when it's like, dude, you gotta let the universe do its thing. But I'm not saying you can't just sit back and relax and just let, you know, evil run amok, because that's how shit happens. But don't try.
It's got to be, and that's like what Vision says in the Marvel. He's like, what does he say? Strength invites challenge. Challenge invites
growth,
something like that. And then he says like, the end result becomes like catastrophe or something like that. It breeds catastrophe. Because that's like the whole archetype. Like, if there's a villain, there's got to be a hero to sort that, to balance that.
The dance between order and chaos.
It's got to keep
Define
going into
lines,
the final.
like,
And that's like in Star Wars as well. It's like, on one side there is darkness, on one side there is light. The space that's holding those two together, that's the Force. Like the Force is what he's talking about. It's like, that's what's holding the dark and light together. That's the barrier.
And all cultures from all around the world just have a different name for that thing, you know.
I just remember past this book out of the I've still got to talk about this Changa Trip.
Drawing time with Jarrad.
Where did I draw this? The bean.
That's great. Yeah. So don't get sucked in too much with the new age religion. Cause it sounds.
You got to use your own discernment, because a lot of people.
It's naive optimism. That's the danger of it. It's like, be positive. Go towards the love. Of course, that's like the ultimate truth. It might be. You know, it's that love source, God, whatever you want to call it, but. And don't ignore the dark shit, because it makes me feel uncomfortable. So I'm just gonna justify it and say it doesn't exist.
Like all the fucking Pizzagate and fucking all the pedophile rings.
Exactly,
that are going on
that shit's real.
Like it's
Jarrad,
real, but like
I don't believe in pedophiles.
It's like, can we change this conversation?
It's you're bringing down the vibe. You're being negative right now. I don't appreciate it.
But that's it. It's like to be enlightened is to be. There's a guy that I listen to who says this. He says to be enlightened is to be in knowledge of all of it, not just the light side. To be in knowledge of the
and more importantly, embody it. Like, really be a fully integrated human, whatever that means. And I think it's a little bit different for everybody. And it doesn't mean just go out and lecture everyone how fucked up the world is, because it's not like that. Of course, the mainstream media is gonna show all the fucked up things to keep us in that fear state, keep us controlled. But it's not so much about lecturing people, but finding your way to spread your truth, I suppose. Like, you know, you use cartoon shows, you know what I mean? Like, that's awesome.
That just makes people laugh. You just hold the frequency of love and happiness. Like, laughter is
humor. Humor is super important.
Yeah.
And where that stems from tragedy, doesn't it?
Yeah. This symbol, if anyone knows that symbol, because I don't know what it is, but I saw the number is 44 on the thing. That's the number I always see.
There you go.
Yeah, well, this symbol is what I saw during the Changa Trip yesterday. So we climbed Mount Warning yesterday, Mount Mullumbin, but it's locally known as Mount Warning.
Was Captain Cook named it? Like,
warning. Because it's a warning, because all the ships from outer sea can see it, and it's like the first warning you see when land. So like you can see the tip of the mountain.
Mount Mullumbin.
Mount Mullumbin.
That's cool.
So Mount Mullumbin is like the most, like, what the Aboriginals reckon that Mount Warning, this area, is like one of the most spiritually significant places on the whole east side coast of Australia.
And you say it's the first place to get hit by sunlight in the winter?
No, during any year, because this is the most eastern point. Byron is the most eastern point of Australia, and it's the most highest bit of land, and it's just there. And so no matter what time of year, it's the first thing the sun touches in Australia.
There you
Is
go.
the very tip of Mount Warning. So it's good to go there for
Just a tip.
early mornings. But in saying that, just a quick disclaimer: if you're thinking of going to Mount Warning, you've really got to really respect it, because like,
Like, don't litter, man. Don't
no,
be that
don't
guy.
fucking do it. Like, I kind of don't even want to tell you about where the mountain is, because like a lot of the Aboriginal community are sick of people like climbing it,
Yeah.
because too many people don't know what they're walking on, and it's on a bed of ley lines that cross over each other, so it's a really high energetic place. So if you come to the mountain with like all these bad vibes, you got to send that through the energy grid, and it's just not healthy for it, and you got to get it back tenfold,
Yeah.
kind of inside of a way. But anyway, we're up there. Oh, that was lucky. I nearly spilt over my coffee. I'll clean that afterwards. I'm sorry. But I didn't have any papers. Remember how I like didn't have any papers,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh fuck, I was gonna roll a joint when we got to the top, but I didn't have any papers left. I must have dropped them. So I was like, well, we won't have a smoke. No biggie. We're high as fuck anyway, in theory. So and we didn't even need anything, like, because it was just such a
Yeah, the
beautiful-
energy was really...
it was really
And
still.
I hate like saying stuff that the energy was incredible, but it
Yeah,
really was, man.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
for real. Yeah.
yeah.
It was surreal.
So in my grinder, my marijuana that I brought.
Marijuana?
My cannabis, yes. I brought some Changa as well, and Changa's like, you know more about Changa, because you
Well,
met
I
the
actually,
dude.
literally the very first podcast I've made was with Julian Palmer, who was the founder of Changa. So if you're interested,
go.
just check out that podcast.
And if you can't be bothered to do that, Changa's just like a
Smokable ayahuasca, I guess.
smokable ayahuasca. It's got like DMT properties in it, mixed with like heaps of other blends. But I think this batch that I got is a lot stronger, because I've had 2 bags of 2 different batches, and they all did the same thing, but this one is just like 5 times stronger. So I think there's actually like proper
Like
DMT,
free base DMT.
yeah, just like mixed with it and melted with it instead of being cooked with it, kind of
getcha,
thing. It's
yeah.
just like sprinkled in. But so I didn't have any paper or anything like that, and then I like checked my grinder, and I realized I actually had 1 paper left, 1 little tally ho that I had my Changa wrapped in. So like, oh, it's meant to be. So like, that means I have to smoke the Changa now, because like, you know, I'm not going to just roll a doob with my last paper and then not smoke the Changa. So it was all meant to be, kind of thing. So I rolled a doob with Changa sprinkled in, because I just wanted to feel that just little effect, not the full blown effect. I just wanted that extra nice buzz.
A little bit of a boost.
Yeah, just a bit of a
Yeah.
boost, just a bit of a kick. And so I did. Me and Kai, we sat down on the grass, the grassy area, because it's like got metal balconies that you sit on, and I wanted to be connected to the mountain, so we climbed it barefoot, and like I always climb it barefoot, because that's how you really like connect.
Everyone's like, hey, how you doing that, mate? Oh,
Yeah,
barefoot."
getting compliments on my shoes. Barefoot, Jesus Christ! Check out this bloke. And then every time someone would walk past, I'd be like, "You barefoot, you're game." That's right. I brought my guitar up there and played a few
hilarious.
tunes. Like, oh, we missed a concert. Like, nah, I'm just playing guitar, man.
I'll play loud enough.
Yeah, but so I smoked the Changa, and like respectfully, of course, kind of like getting myself ready to go into meditation. I was in a meditation stance, like sitting in that.
Yeah, prepping yourself.
Yeah, and then when I smoked it, and as soon as I was like going into it, I just started smiling and felt really just nice and happy and really still. Like it's almost like I didn't have to breathe. And all of a sudden, the sun just got really nice and warm. All my body just felt really nice and relaxed, and I just instantly went into a meditative state. And then I was in there at the start of it, just smiling, just feeling it, and it was just like I've had really good meditation breakthroughs before, but this was just like getting into it so quick. Like what would take an hour of meditation, this took just like minutes. And so I was just there, just really happy, and I started to see this hexagon kind of honeycomb pattern, just really lightly. It was purple, just spinning. I was thinking, oh, this is the only visuals I'm getting. This is cool, sick. And I wasn't expecting anything more. And then I got an even more just really happy, light feeling, and just really giddy, and just really like, oh. And the frequency of the place, just like that ringing in your ear, that ooh, like when everything's just dead silent and you're just hearing that constant ringing.
You can actually hear it, because I wasn't tripping when I heard it.
Yeah, that got really loud and just really like a monitor was on, like it was just full blown. And because the mountain itself, it actually has an energetic field that spirals up the mountain, and it shoots up the top, kind of like the way a pyramid would work, I assume. Because this thing, like I already said, it's on ley line, so it's a real high energetic area. So I was just beaming on that, on this force, like going, oh my god, it's real, like I'm being hit by it. Like if I don't hold on to it, I'm going to be shoved off, like a water spout or something like that of energy. And
Can you imagine just
yeah.
See you later.
But when I was feeling all this, and I was feeling all these sensations, and I actually felt my body start to vibrate, and it was just like I wasn't breathing in it, and it wasn't my heart, because I can feel my heart moving in like pumping, just really nice and relaxed. So it wasn't my heart jolting my body. My whole body was just like full on, just buzzing, and it just felt real nice. Like I was just, whoa, the energy is really, really intense. And then I started to see more kind of patterns, and then I saw a face, and that was
the face we showed earlier.
This guy, but I think it was a female, because the eyes were way more like you know how you can tell between like when you look at a dog and you see a female dog and a male dog, you can like just by seeing the eyes you can tell.
You can kind of tell.
They've got that feminine, like really nice look about them. This was like this being like soft eyelids or something, and really awesome eyes, like just like I've drawn, but just way better. And I think it was a tad purple or blue. And that's what I forgot to say with the beings that appeared to me. I think it was that being, the ones that appeared to me in my room. And I didn't explain about the colour earlier. I think they were white, but I can't tell because my orange salt lamp was on in my room when I woke up.
Right.
So I was giving everything an orange tinge to it. So these beings were actually tan colour. They looked orange almost, like a fake tan colour. But now I'm thinking they could have been white, and it was just the reflection of the salt lamp. Yeah. But in this vision, this being had a purple blue energy to her. I'm just gonna say her, and I think skin was like a light purple blue. It was like different shades. Anyway, it was just smiling at me, and all of a sudden I start to see this symbol, which is oh, there we go. That symbol. Like I started to see that, but it was way more better than the.
You should actually research what that is.
Yeah, I'm going to
look at the origin of it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to, because this only happened yesterday. But it was like that, and it was like a crystal I was looking at, and it was almost like I was having a conversation to this being, like just in my mind, like going, like I remember. The being was kind of, there was more of them. It was like another one or something like that, and it was more like a child, like doing that, like showing me making the symbol, and then like getting the corners of it like that. So like making it go long ways, and then meeting it in the middle, and doing that, and meeting in the middle. Then I was like kind of doing it like that, like smiling and just like sort of doing it with my hands, because I'm doing it in my mind. I'm like full on doing it, but in reality, I'm like.
Yeah, I was looking at you. I'm like, he's having a good time.
Yeah, you're watching me while I was in it.
Yeah.
But I just felt really loving, really safe, and that real giddy feeling in your heart. Your heart, not your heart, but your heart, your chakra here, which is all just this whole general area was just like
that generally warm, loving feeling.
Yeah, just really just
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like not necessarily like literally just hard.
It's just that.
Like literally and metaphorically, I suppose.
Yeah. And the cool thing about this experience is, the night before, just after I seen you guys, I went to Coles and fucking got dinner and shit. And as I'm walking out, I'm like thinking about Mount Warning and how special it is and how people have seen so many UFOs. And I've seen UFOs at night time fly over it. One time I went there with my cousin, I saw like 7 ships fly over and all lighting up and like almost hitting each other and shit. It was amazing. And he saw it too, so that was like confirmation. And so I was thinking, oh, am I going to see something again? Like maybe I might see something again. And then as I'm walking out of Coles and having this feeling, I look up and a bus is driving past on the main road, and the bus had a big advertisement for a club down the road, and I didn't see the advertisement for the club, just like the big letters just saying, "We'll see you there," on the bus as it drives past. Just as I look up, just "We'll see you there," as I'm having these thoughts. So I'm just like, take that as a sign, they'll see me there. And then I was expecting, to see a ship or something like a daytime ship, kind of like what we just saw at the start.
I can't believe that actually happened.
Yeah.
We got that on recording too.
Yeah.
So not the actual thing.
I know.
I wish we could.
That's the thing. Like,
it's frustrating.
It's frustrating
because most people are going to see that like, whatever.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking who cares?
It did.
That's
actually my like. I don't know. Would you go as far to say that was a UFO? Technically, it was because it was an unidentified flying object.
I'd say it was due to the fact that I was drawing the being, I was talking about them and having those feelings. I was like...
And it had that character... I've never, not even joking, this was literally the very first UFO I've ever seen in my entire life.
Really?
It looks like
no
a
shit.
coin, when a coin is like spinning and it's like nearly like gonna fall over. Like, when you spin
Yeah,
a coin?
That's exactly what it looked like. Yeah, it did too, yeah. I'll do a demonstration.
20 cents.
This UFO that we saw at the start of this podcast, it was like this, and perfect, say that was the sun, it was just like, doing that.
That's exactly what I'm describing.
And it was just...
Yeah, guys, I'm like a massive skeptic, and
Tom's been like calling.
I'm like, if anything, I'm like resistant. I'm like, not that I'm like, oh, it's bullshit. It's just like I'm not looking for it, I suppose.
Yeah.
But dude, what the fuck? As if that happened.
I knew it was bound to happen by the time you left.
But during recording,
yeah.
Jesus, what are the odds of that?
None of us have a camera that has zoom on it. Damn. But you said
if you want to
pick
donate,
it up
then
on the camera. But
that would be good actually. Have a zoom lens. We need to get one next time.
Next time, yeah. But
anyways,
what I was saying is that they said I got a sign saying we'll see you there, and I saw the being like crystal clear in my Changa experience, like just smiling at me with the same eyes, like more of a purple blue energy to them. And I think what they looked like the most was a race called the Andromedans. They look like, I've seen pictures of them, I've seen illustrations of people that have seen them and stuff, and as soon as I was looking at even that symbol, I was just like, I was even thinking during the trip, I'm like, are you Andromeda? Are you an Andromeda? Like, is this Andromeda? I've heard so many things about you guys, you're sick. And so at the moment I can't confirm any of this.
I just remember you looked so giddy.
Yeah, I was so happy, man.
It wasn't like a peace serenity. It was like you looked giddy.
Yeah. I was like cracking up, man. Like I was so happy.
And then you finally open your eyes. You look at me. It was just like
came to thumbs up. Like, that was sick. And oh man, but like, just that's how you can tell between a negative experience and a good one. You just you can feel it. Like you feel excited. You feel
like
giddy.
As soon as you have to even question it a little bit, it's already not. I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like,
it's like picking mushrooms. Like if it's like, throw it away. It's not worth it. It could be poisonous.
Yeah,
you gotta.
I still do.
Because there are doppelgangers, right?
Yeah.
Every single species of psilocybin mushroom has a look-alike, and it grows right next to it.
Yeah.
Like once you know how to identify, it's pretty easy. But always go with an experienced picker, guys.
Yeah.
Like when people send me photos of like, is this one? It's like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I get that too, but I couldn't tell you unless I was there touching
exactly,
it.
Yeah. But it's a different looking at as in the photo.
Pictures, resemble. You need it like, does it go blue and shit? But yeah, like that Changa experience. But it wasn't so much the Changa giving me experience. It was the meditation in the location.
Oh, for sure. And the conversations we were having.
Yeah.
Up the trail. Yeah. Then we did a meditation, like, you know, playing guitar. We're just like really feeling it.
Yeah, I played heaps of guitar. The songs that awesome. Put me in that state.
Yeah.
Anyway, just by playing it, so I was already kind of there. I just had to move over to the grass and just sit down, smoke that, and I was just in it. And the frequency of the whole place, the mountain, was just like ringing so much, and I like had to go, are you guys hearing that ringing? And you were like, yeah, you can hear it really, like, it's because you were meditating next to me. So
because you can hear it really faint, but obviously when you're in that state, it's just amplified.
Oh, it was just
like more, it makes
ringing
it more
through my entire soul. Like it was just like vibrating. It's like a fucking it's like a chime, not what are they called? A singing bowl.
Tibet, yeah. It
was like a singing bowl.
Yeah.
But that's how you it's how you use your emotions, your feelings to discern what experiences is good for you or not. And if you have trust issues, then
just better not. Yeah, because if you have even one tiny little fraction of doubt, it's so good. But when these beings come in, you need that trust.
Yeah. When these beings come in, what I've experienced seeing their ships, dreams.
Yeah.
Like as I said, I woke up to the beings. Like multiple experiences all over time, and multiple other ones. The ones that I generally am connected to are the ones that I proper felt safe, love, and trust, like without a doubt. Because I'm skeptic as well. Like before I started having these experiences, I'm skeptic. Like I'm still skeptic of every thought I have.
Be skeptic, but simultaneously open-minded.
Oh, of course.
Because a lot of people use a label like, oh, I'm skeptical, but just kind of to justify the cowardice of not actually doing anything.
I'm skeptical, but also closed-minded.
Yes, exactly.
So it's just like, I'm skeptical but open-minded is what you want.
Exactly.
But like
be very skeptical, but also radically open-minded.
Yeah. Like I can understand, like for people hearing this kind of information for the first time, we'll just be like, get out of here. That's fucking crazy. Like I've been called crazy so many times.
Used to it now.
By my friends, even like close mates. So like, you know, they'll talk behind you. Like when you're not there, they'll be like, oh, he's cooked it. Hey, he's fucking cooked it. But like, that's another funny story. I've actually, if you're one of those people that like have a mate that is actually going through something and you just label it off as crazy and tell your other mates, oh, don't listen to this guy, he's cooked it. Listen to what he's got to say next time we hang out with him.
Even if you don't believe it, that's actually the word. I was listening to a video before, even like talking to someone who's depressed or suicidal, the worst possible thing you can do is say like, but the world's beautiful, you shouldn't feel this way. It's like you gotta acknowledge where they're from.
Yeah,
like, you know
different
what I mean?
perspectives.
As soon as you call someone crazy, it makes them feel more crazy, more isolated, and it makes it worse. Like, you don't even have to believe the person.
Nah.
Like if you're skeptical and and if you deep down think they're crazy,
need some sort of guy, like some sort of help.
And you never know, you might always learn something.
Oh well, in this story, this is interesting, and okay, so I had this mate. That was always, like, I knew always behind my back, he would always be telling my other mates, you know, I'm crazy and shit, don't believe him, or, having fun with it. But when I'm there and talking it, you know, they just won't say anything or whatever. But, like, when I'm gone, and I would always know. And this one night, we were walking, me and this guy, and it was just me and him alone. We're walking down this street, we had a cool night out. And he didn't believe in any of the UFOs. I'll be like, oh, I saw this great UFO the other day. He'd just be like, oh yeah, sick. But really, he'll be like to the other mates, like, yeah, right, doing the old eye rolling thing. Like, oh, I see your eye rolling. But anyway, so he had this. I can see he had this attitude of this, like, but I didn't fight it. I didn't like try force all this sort of stuff, like. So I was just chill about it, calm about it, because I knew there would be a day where everyone else would start to experience this, and I would want, when that day comes, be chill about it, like I was.
Yeah.
And so, he's massive skeptic and disbeliever, and just didn't like. He just thought I was saying all this stuff for attention. Got enough attention as it is from the show. I don't need attention. So what happened was we're walking down the street at night, and earlier on we just did some sort of thing, and I was saying thank you for the help, because I actually asked the beings for help to help me talk in front of people and shit like that, because I actually did a thing where I talked in front of a crowd, and I like needed help to cut my anxiety down or something like that. So I felt them come in and just like pat me on the back, going, "You're all right, you got this." So I was like, "Okay, cool." And so yeah, we're walking down the street with my mate who's saying all this shit behind my back, and I just look up and see this perfect, just huge orange orb just slowly gliding past over the town, just so lightly, just so beautiful, and just like so just awesome, just big orange orb. And I'm just like to my mate, like, look, there they are. They're like, we're like being all calm, and like, because this guy has anxiety and stuff, like I don't want to freak him out, because that's why I do believe he did used to pay me out, because he was actually freaked out and just like didn't want to believe it because it freaked him out. Yeah. But I just said, like, look, there they are, like, there they are, wave, say hello. And he looks at it and he's like on like, holy shit, holy shit. And then he just took a minute and he just went, put his head down and just walked away from me, and he was just shitting himself basically. And I was just like, oh, I'll give you a minute, but like I was instantly thinking like, wow, like that's what you get. Yeah. Like I'm not celebrating the fact, but I'm just like going, if you be so naive and like so arrogant towards someone who's generally having experiences, you're gonna get slapped in the face. Yeah. Like you will be like, they will come to your door and be like, oi, we're real, kind of thing. Humble. You got to be very humble about it, because
arrogant, the universe will force you into it.
Oh, it does. And this all happened in front of me, and I was just like, wow. So that's why, like, nowadays especially, I do not try to force this onto people. I do not go like try to force any sort of evidence. I just go like, be open to it, because they're there, they're around.
And some people aren't ready for it.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man. Like, a lot of people aren't ready for it.
I'm not even specifically talking about UFOs.
It's just, just opening yourself up to, you're a man who's spent your whole life looking through the world through a keyhole, and the whole time you've been trying to widen that keyhole, and on hearing that the possibility that it can be widened, you reject the possibility. That's Doctor Strange. Fucking watch Doctor Strange. You will.
It's like, I don't believe in chakras.
Yeah, I don't believe in energy or chakras, or we're just bits of matter in a different universe and nothing more. You see too little of yourself. And just DMT trip, just like open your eyes. I'm just like full. Watch Doctor Strange. Like, they made that movie.
They might as well call that DMT the movie.
Yeah, literally. Because after even in that movie, after he had like an out of body experience from this chick, he's like, "What'd you put in that tea? Psilocybin or LSD?" Because these are actually tools you can use. Like, I'm not promoting it, but I've used them as tools to get further in meditative states. But Disclaimer, but watch Doctor fucking Strange, man. Like,
sometimes you won't even need that though. Like, watching an enlightening movie can help you gain a perspective. Like, you don't have to have like a psychedelic to gain a perspective. Even listening to
music.
I've had the experience of listening to like, speakers like Alan Watts, for example. You know what I mean? He just gives you this new perspective. Like, huh, I haven't thought about it that way before, and then you start integrating it in your life.
That was who I found when I started first having these experiences, especially mushrooms. My parents, I'll show them who I listen to and stuff, like Terence McKenna and Alan Watts and all that sort of stuff, and they'll be like, oh yeah, so you hear these people and you just believe what they say. And I go, no, these recordings found me, and I just related to them so well. Like, I knew what they were talking about, because I'd leave YouTube on running like at night, and I'll fall asleep to it, and then I'd wake up at the perfect time at like 3 a.m. to it already repeatedly playing, and it would just be someone I've never heard before. This is how I came across Terence McKenna, and I was just like, who's this person speaking? And then I just listened to what they were saying, and he was like saying how like
the peculiar thing about the mushroom is that they will show you images of. They'll give you these downloads from far away, shall we say? And
so on and so forth.
so I mean, this is all growing in your backyard, for crying out loud. These things evolved on some other planet.
That's another good thing he says.
Yeah, because he's got a lot of profound stuff, but the skeptic of me just wants to point out that he did kind of say a lot of crazy shit as well.
Yeah, oh fuck yeah, man. But like, I've resonated with this. Dude.
Yeah, no, there's some. The thing is, you don't always have to look at like, oh, if this teacher says one thing that I don't resonate with, I should just throw it all away.
Yeah.
Choose it like a buffet, man. Everyone's going to say things that resonate with you. Some stuff that they say is not going to be quite good. Same with me. I might say some cool stuff, and sometimes like, actually that was pretty retarded. Just ignore that. I'm trying here, man. You gotta.
No, dude, me too. Like I get a lot of since I've like actually come out of the space closet, if you will.
Space closet.
Of like talking about these experiences, because it's not easy coming out and be like, oh, I've seen ETs, I've seen UFOs. It's not like.
Yeah, that would be tough. Like I thought
it was very tough.
Even coming out talking about psychedelics is.
Yeah.
But it's more open these days, I suppose. But
I'm used to it now. Like
it was a lot more.
Yeah, it was very tough because like the only reason what got me to do it is I was thinking like, fuck, people need they need to know about this because it's so loud, and we do need to wake up and to be aware of all the world that we're living in, because we are destroying it and we don't know what we're destroying. Just by living, you might,
And we're doing it to ourselves.
Yeah, we're doing it ourselves, and we're letting it happen because we're not educated about the importance. Humans are walking around like, we don't fucking matter. We're just made of matter in a different universe.
Or even the whole thing of like something bad might happen across the world and be like, not my problem.
Yeah,
yes, it is. We're literally all connected.
Yeah.
What happens to a human being in fucking Serbia is going to be. It does affect you.
That's like
in one.
That's
one
like
way,
the mentality now. Of like, I don't want to go into the subject, but to quickly touch upon it, all the wars going off in the Middle Eastern countries. Everyone's here, or in Australia, in America, or wherever you are. Like chilling, going about our daily lives. We won't worry about that until it happens to us. No one cares about that. Like no one's really doing it.
We're desensitized.
We desensitized. We can't go, and we're taught to like say it's a good thing.
Like we should. Like seriously weep as a nation every time someone commits suicide, but we're so used to it that it happens every day.
It didn't happen to me, so what's my involvement? It's like your involvement is that you're a human being. We live on the same fucking planet in this gigantic galaxy. Like, dudes,
we should be amazed. How are we not all freaking out? Like, oh my god, can we believe that we're on this ride together? Like, what are the odds?
That's the cool thing, is that's where we're headed. Is that's where we are in our evolution, is where we had to go, like we were explaining before, we had to go through a period of darkness, go through wars and no energy,
no primitive, primal stuff.
The Dark Ages, man. They're called the Dark Ages.
Literally.
And now we're moving into a
light. You know that Dark Ages was actually had the least amount of sunlight as well.
Yeah. Well, wow, I didn't know that.
Like, because it's all like literal and metaphorical the same at the end of the day. Yeah.
And now we're going into this new energy, and like, people are just waking up.
It's the awakening phase. Well, it's kind of like, when it's like the awakening phase, like, and you picture like a caterpillar getting out of its cocoon, becoming a butterfly. It's like it's a process, and it's like it is a sticky process. You gotta rip off all this shit, like, but you gotta allow yourself to go through the process, because if you force that cocoon open and not let that caterpillar do it, it'll come up.
The moth will be too weak to survive.
When it like come out all fucked up and deformed and shit.
That's it, man.
But it all starts with like awareness, man. And I think that's where ignorance. That's where evil, if you want to call it that, stems from, is ignorance. It's lack of awareness, lack of knowledge. We don't know.
That's just what it is, and it's its own thing. Like, evil has a right to live, it has a right to exist, because we learn from it the most. Like, so you better yourself from it. Like, it's just a natural. That's nature. That's nature right there. Like,
but we just let it go way out of balance. So
we kind of have to. We have to test our boundaries of how far can we take this? How far can we take that? To learn, okay,
Don't
we
do that
know
again.
how, just like a plant stretches its roots down into the darkness. It's got to test itself,
Like
and
every possible path. And
every
it's like,
possible
nope,
path.
that doesn't work. Nope, that doesn't work.
Ah, this one works.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Go up to the
exactly.
light, and now all these ones that didn't work out, they're the strong, they're the platform holding everything together.
Like we're definitely waking up, and it's like a heavy transition. Like there's definitely a lot of turbulence going on.
Fucking oath,
But it's not all pretty, you know, going through
it's
like
a process. It's,
maybe at the start it's like, oh my god, it's all beautiful, and
just,
like it is.
Just
don't
like
get,
I was
it's
saying,
amazing.
with
but
like psychedelics, like they'll be really gentle to beginners.
yeah. Terence McKenna used to say that too.
Yeah, he did, and
And you don't want to go too far
Nah.
with it as well, because of like psychedelics have profoundly changed so many people's lives. But at the same time, the ones that go a little bit too far, they take a little bit too high doses, and it's like,
yeah,
it doesn't do
it's
well.
coming at me.
Yeah.
It's like a 10-foot wave.
Death by astonishment.
Yeah. Jesus criminy,
That's-
I've done it this time.
That's it. Actually, do you want to finish off this podcast and telling me you almost got struck by lightning while you were tripping at mushroom? Because I haven't heard this story.
Speaking of inappropriate behaviour while
It's also about
tripping.
death by astonishment.
Yeah, death by lightning.
Yeah.
Right, so I didn't. Okay, this all in all was an amazing trip. It was an amazing time. Like, even though I almost died, I knew I was safe. I knew I wasn't going to get struck. It was just amazing what happened. I could have died if I was wearing metal on me, but so this was in a point when I didn't have my car. I was skating everywhere, and as you know, I live on the hill over here.
How long ago was this?
This was last year sometime.
Okay.
In the summer, probably start of summer last year, or I can't remember. Fucking time's irrelevant now. Time's
Time.
irrelevant.
You know.
Fucking whatever. Now it's all now. So, what I do on occasion, I won't go full skits on psychedelics. Like, if I want to take acid, I'll take half a tab.
Right.
If I want to take shrooms, I'll take 2 grams, not 5. Like, you know,
The first time I did that, I did it by myself in public, and I had to call you saying it to save me.
Really?
Because I wasn't prepared. This was like after I did ayahuasca, so I'm like,
You can
mushrooms,
handle
I
it.
can handle this. I've done ayahuasca. Like, I went through like a hectic ceremony, and I was like, you know, still respecting it. Like, you know, I had my intention all that,
Oh,
but
of
then
course.
it just was too much. I had to call her, and then
It's like-
yeah, she kind of
Sounds
saved
like
me.
me with ketamine. Like, I've done lines before. I'll do this big line of ketamine. Why not? And then
She'll be right.
paralyzed.
Again, that's that arrogance, and you get
Yeah.
punished for it. But you
And
learn,
yeah,
and then next
that's-
time you're like,
That's how
okay.
you learn. Yeah.
But then you think it's like, I've learnt my lesson this time, but then you really don't until one day you actually do learn your lesson.
Yeah.
I think I'm at that point. But anyways.
Anyways, this story, I go down to what's down here in Tweed, Snapper Rocks, which is an awesome swimming area in summer.
Yeah.
You can swim through all the rocks, and it's just crystal blue this day that I went. And I go by myself because if I want to trip on shrooms or something, I'm always by myself because, you know, it's me time. It's like processing time. It's like connecting all the dots that have, where am I in life, kind of thing.
Defragmenting that.
Defragment,
computer.
yeah, just recharging batteries and being with nature and all the good things. And it was such a nice day, you know, swimming and just everything is just slow motion. I'm just like fucking touching the bottom of the sand, swimming all the way up, and no one was there. So I just had it to myself. So it was just like a magical time. And I decided to stay there until it was dark. Because, you know, there's no one there. People are packing up and leaving quick. Like, fuck, this is beautiful. I'm staying here. And in the distance where surface is, there was this massive, coming from Springbrook, this massive big storm cloud that looked just amazing. So I didn't want to leave because it was such a good view. Like, seeing, like, just, you know, when you see a storm from far away and it's just big and dark grey and, like, bulby and see, like, lightning flashing out of it. So I was just like, man, like in the water, just like seeing all this at sunset and just like, this is breathtaking, like beautiful. And because I got a mate that does photography of storms when they come in. So he's actually
Yeah?
got a photo of this storm.
Nice.
So I'll try find that.
Yeah,
was-
you should send us it.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
biggest lightning storm in the year, I think. And I was in the middle. Okay, I'll get to this story.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I thought the wind started to pick up because it was from far away, and I noticed, oh shit, it's heading this way. So I thought, I best make a move there, Tom. Best get out of here, so to speak. So I started walking, but I'm still amazed by the storm that I was walking along the beach all the way to Greenmount here, just knee deep, just in the water,
Yeah.
and like all the way to the beach and climbing because I was just checking it all out, and I thought, I'll be right. I'll get home on my hill, which is over here, not like probably about 20-minute walk or 15-minute walk, and as I started to get to the hill, I thought, I'll start to go inland, and I'm like still tripping, like just like looking at everything, taking my time. When you're tripping, you just walk past a good tree with a nice like street light shining through it, and you just sit there just going, it looks really pretty.
Fucking schmick.
Yeah, I remember I stopped I was at the bottom of my hill, the climb up my hill.
Yeah, just taking it all in.
Yeah, and I was taking in this weeping willow tree, and I was just sitting in its essence, just like, man, I love weeping willows. And that's when I heard the first. I full on forgot about the storm at this point. I thought, it'll pass. I hear it rumble, go, and it's shaking the ground. Like, oh no, that's close. That's really close. Because it went, it came down the beach and went inland, and then it came down the river, which is where I live, on top of the hill next to the river. So it was coming. It went away down that way, and then it came back. So I was like, oh shit, I better fucking get home. So it starts to rain, and it wasn't a windy storm. It wasn't a very hectic storm. It was just a lightning show with a bit of rain, like a trinkle of rain, but just crazy lightning. Like,
what was that vibe like?
I'll get there.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
So yeah, so I'm thinking, all right, it's dark time, it's night time now, and everything's getting lit up by this storm that's coming in the distance. So as I'm walking up my hill, it starts raining a bit, and my hill's like this, right? And I live around the side of it, like the road comes around here, around the hill, and I live here. So I got a bit of a walk to trek, and the top of the mountains here. It's just not a mountain, it's just a hill.
Yeah.
But as I'm going up it, the storm is meeting me at the top, and it's wrapping around the hill. So I'm walking up, like in my perception, I'm walking up the fucking
Immortal.
Off what's Van Helsing, fucking Dracula's big temple on the hill where it's just constantly storming. Like, I'm walking up to this. Like, should I be walking? Should I wait? And I was like thinking, I need to take shelter, but every shelter I saw was a tin roof. So I was like, nah, I'm happy with me thongs on the fucking road. And I was like steering clear of the metal grates on the road. Anything metal, I'll just steer clear from. And when I got to the top of the hill and I had to walk around the side, that's when the storm was fucking there. Like, I can throw a rock at the clouds. That's how close it was. And just every time a lightning would strike, it wouldn't have a delay to it. It'd just be and I'm just there, just like, I ended up doing this I don't know what I did, but I was just like trying to speak to the storm or something, and I was just like holding my hands up, just saying like holding this energy in my hands, just saying like, please don't hit me, so to speak. please, yeah, please, because you know when you're on shrooms, like you just feel the electricity in the air. You can really feel like
it's good that you came in that calm space.
Yeah.
I remember going to the bush stuff and there was this thunderstorm.
Yeah.
And I just hear someone scream,
"Show me what you've got!" Oh no, don't say that.
And I always remember that.
My friend said that to the ocean once, and he got took out to sea for a bit in that same day.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway,
you had a more humble approach.
Yeah,
okay.
I was more like, just like, if I get hit, cool. If I don't, cool. Just yeah. A lot of people love me, so it'd be cool if I stayed alive. So please, force field of light around me while I get home. and I'm walking on the road, and I'm it's trickling raining, and I'm just like astounded by like, oh, I've never been this close to a storm before, and it's just like lightning. I'm just seeing it like it's fucking right there, and it's so loud, it's shaking my hill. And I got to keep walking because there's no shelter. The only shelter was underneath trees or next to metal shit, and that's where I think if it did strike, that's where it would hit. Anyway, as the storm peaked and I'm nearly at the bend around my hill to get to the street where my house is, I come out to the opening where I can see the ocean and everything. I'm on the top of the hill, and you can see like the beaches and stuff. On the side of the hill, literally probably, it would have been less than 50 meters, probably like 30 meters, I'd say. Right there, my whole vision everywhere just whited out, went just like such an electric blue light. I couldn't see, I was blinded by this light. It was like one of those fucking frag grenades. And it just did that, and everything just whited out, and then I just heard this massive like a fucking cannon's been shot on the side of the fucking hill, and I just get the last glimpse, and I see the last of the lightning strike hit the side of the hill right where I am. So it hit like probably about 30 meters away, just on the side of the hill here, and I'm there just going, and I'm freaking out, but I'm also like laughing at myself because I'm in such a dangerous spot that I just start instead of panicking, I just laugh like, like oh shit, I start walking a bit of power walking, and then
Got myself in a bit of an ordeal.
you're like, oh well, shouldn't have dropped shrooms today. You should have checked the fucking forecast there, Jarrad. But I was taking it all in. Like I was actually saying to myself, like, this is inspiration. I'm going to turn this into a scene one day, and you will in some other project I'll make. But if you see anything that I make cartoon wise or anything wise where a character is walking up the side of a hill and there's crazy lightning storms going on and he almost gets struck, you'll know it's based off this experience. And so
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, it kept going, and it kept just like on my whole walk home, and I finally got home, and when I got home, that's when the storm passed, and it kept going down south, and I was just like, just so normal, just come home, like say hello to my mum, like, hey mum, she's upstairs, like, oh hello, like, were you out there? Like, nah.
Were you still tripping at this time?
Yeah, of course. And I just like got back in my room and just looking out the window of like the storm, because I live on a hill. I got a view of the storm going away, and I'm just sitting on my bed, just like admiring it, like it was a being, like going, oh cool, thank you for letting me bask in your greatness and not killing me.
Yeah.
Unless that big whiteout moment was me getting hit, and this is the afterlife.
True.
I'm actually dead. You're dead too. Oh, this is it. This is the afterlife. Just transitioning to another.
I didn't know how to tell you, Jarrad.
Well, that's the thing there, Tom. As when you die, do you know that you died? That's the question. You know, you could have died yesterday on the mountain, but life itself just kind of rewinds, and here you are, wake up the next day in your bed, safe. You never know that the dream that you had and forgotten was your actual your death, Tom. And you're just a continuous being that lives forever, so to speak. Just through continuous parallel polarities that there is in this multiverse of infinity, my friend Tom. And you guys there. But yeah, that I almost got
That's
killed.
crazy, man.
It was great though. I'm gonna turn that into
that wrath
something.
of nature is like,
That was pure power. That was like,
you don't mess. Yeah, you don't want to mess with nature.
nah.
She's a powerful force. Huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, very
incredibly
very
beautiful, but
Oh, it was beautiful. That's what I took from it. It was beautiful.
beautifully. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
It was lightning.
It was like beautifully hectic.
Yeah, beautifully hectic.
We'll
Sounds good.
Yeah, go with that.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh,
the
no,
podcast
thank you
again.
for having
It's
me.
Fucking,
Yeah.
I could talk to you all day, man.
Yeah, same. This could go on forever. We have been talking real. I've been struggling so many times not to tell stories.
Yeah, we'll save that for the podcast.
Yeah,
We'll save that for the podcast.
Yeah. Next time.
Oh, dude, crazy.
Heaps more
Like,
stories.
imagine if we actually recorded all our conversations these last 3 days.
Gosh.
Oh, well, for the next one.
Yeah, for the next one. Save it for the next one.
Awesome, dude. Do you want to plug anything?
Where
Where to find ya? What's been going on?
You can find me through the Big Lez Instagram. There's only one. There's a lot of fakes out there. The Big Lez Show official YouTube. There's a lot of fakes out there. And the Big Lez Show official Facebook. There's a lot of fakes out there. Because my Facebook got deleted. The page got hacked and deleted. So we had like so many followers, and now it's just trying to get back up to its what it had. But no, it's all good.
Yeah, it is.
So I barely use it anyway, so I'll use it to let people know
That's
the episode's coming.
That was just my pessimistic side.
Yeah,
no, it's all good. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And what can I tell you?
So Choomah Island 3.
Choomah Island 3 should be in cinemas near you. Hopefully, I'll
Go to your
try and make some connection there. But
go to your local village.
Go to your local village. It should be ready. It's a fucking big episode, so.
Feature length, huh?
Yeah, I'm hoping it will be ready in the next 3 to 4 months, but it could be at the end of the year, frankly.
True.
Like, I know that's a bit of a wait, but it'll be worth it. Yeah. Oh, definitely. I'll be okay.
You gotta take your times, man.
That's it. The fans have been waiting for 7 months. I've been waiting for 6 years, cunt. So no one's.
What are you complaining to?
Yeah. No one's been waiting for this moment more than I have. So it's coming, so to speak. They're my friends, and my friend Tom. You will see it.
For fuck's sake.
But
if it gets delayed, just know it's for a good. It's like a video game, you know, when they delay and everyone complains, like, "Oh, fucking that shit."
That's
it
all
should be
strategy,
that.
you know.
Like, dude.
Yeah, that's all strategy.
But also it's probably to like fix up the bugs and whatnot. But it's just
the
be
hype
patient.
train.
If you take another year, it's
they
like,
do that because when they say, "Oh, we've got a delay." So many people ramp up and go, why? And make YouTube videos about it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's a delay.
Free advertisement. Yeah.
It's all
Marketing.
strategy. It's all strategy, man. But, that was a good chat, my friend Tom.
Thank you, Jarrad. Much appreciated.
No, thank you. Anytime. If you want to do this again over Skype
Always.
or however you do.
I think it's always worth doing it in person.
Yeah, I'll come down to Melbourne and say good day one time, and we'll pick up where we left off, so to speak.
So if you guys want to help with some travelling funds, check out the old Patreon. Get some cool perks.
Oh yeah, I've got Patreon
You've
as well.
got Patreon too? I'll leave the links. So if you want to support his show, check out his Patreon.
Legend.
If you want to support the podcast and the channel, check out my Patreon.
Yeah, watch more of his stuff, because like seriously, like fucking this guy knows his shit. He's been there, he's done it. Fucking get into it. Learn a thing or two about psychedelics and experiences.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. No.
Awesome.
All right.
Done.
Sweet.
Fuck yeah. All right, their podcast is over, so to speak.
So to speak there, Tom.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you did, let us know in the comment section below. Thanks again to Transcend for sponsoring this podcast. Make sure you check out entheozen.com/Tom and get a 15% discount. Show them some love. Also supports this podcast. But, that's it. Catch you later.